Good morning, afternoon, evening, folks, and welcome to Neon Lights Roleplay, and welcome to another episode of Until Stars Collapse. First of all, I'd like to thank Briar Sovereign once again for making this game. We're using Taste and Soul. It's a Forged in the Dark mecha rule set, and if you like what you're hearing so far, or you've enjoyed what we've done with this, please go check it out. Also, we're celebrating Women's History Month along with Mecha March this whole freaking month, so we'll be hosting some cool mecha themed one shots, which if you haven't already seen any of them, there are more coming up this week, along with supporting different charities. So if you have the time or energy, please check either of those out. This week we are supporting Pious Project's Feminine Hygiene Aid to Gaza, so please go check it out to learn more. I cannot say this more often. Please do so. And on to our lovely players, though. So, in the order that I call you out with, or, well, it's the same order as usual, but please tell us who you are, who you're playing today, your playbook, and if you knew you would die today, what legacy, what story do you wish to have echo through the stars? Starting off with
Another
you,
day,
Foxy.
another day, another hard ass question for me to have to answer first before everybody else. Hi, folks. I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest. And today, I reprise my role as Lance Admiral Alleluia Caden of the RCN 215 Heaven After Hell, at your service. And if Alleluia could face his last or their last day, they would recognize that the universe is covered over in scars. Every story out there in the stars is one of bloodshed, of violence, of death, and of conflict. So if Alleluia could leave any legacy behind, it would be none. To do some good, to pass on, to be forgotten. Peaceful.
Wow. Also, holy crap, I think we've gotten past level 4 to level 5 on the hype train. Holy crap. Thanks everyone. Holy shit, what the heck? Okay. But anyways, next up, Tensei.
Hi. I'm Tensei. And while we're working on it, for every dollar that gets donated to charity today, up to 500, I will match it.
Oh, wow. All right. In that case, please let us know in the Neon Light Show chat if you're in the Discord when you donate. Link has been put in the chat. It's not our link though, so we won't know when you donate. So please, let us know in the chat when you do so we can give you some love and pass on the love. Thanks, friend. Tensei, you're great.
Yeah. And tonight I will be playing Shinya Nova, who is in the middle of creating their legacy, I think. However long it lives on after them is probably not too terribly important. As much as it is just while they were alive, they wanted to entertain and spread and promote joy, however fleeting, in whatever moment somebody needed it most.
Well, that's a bit heavy actually, but
You posed the question. Like, what do you
I
expect?
did
Yeah,
pose the question.
you did
I was expecting this, but at the same time, wow, okay. Hit me,
Michelle,
John.
like, hey, think about your last moments before death, but also like, don't get too heavy, folks. Like,
Like, take it easy, dog. You mean like?
all right. I'll continue. My name is John. I am playing the orphan in this game, Archeron Rose, and I think for Archeron, we haven't dove into this too much in the campaign, but having been brought up with the idea that you don't leave anything behind, and that the idea of a legacy kind of like defeats the purpose of welcoming the apocalypse. Not only do they not want to, or not only do they not think that they will leave anything behind, they're going to try and make sure that all of the people who told them that they're not going to leave anything behind are also not going to leave anything behind, and are not going to try and like weasel their way out of the situation. No legacies for anyone is essentially the idea here. Yeah.
And last but not least, Vermin.
Hey y'all, I'm Legendary Vermin. Tonight, without our fancy voice mod technology, it broke. I'm going to be playing Tenebra Shroud, and I think if Tenebra could leave one sort of story behind any particular legacy, it would be one. It would be one of like curiosity, and a rejection of centralized power. A very, very no gods, no masters energy. Yeah, I think, yeah.
That's no master. That's certainly one pretty interesting way of putting it, things. And wow, I almost forgot to introduce myself. Wow. Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm your game maestro for the day, and I'll be playing everyone who's not these lovely folks. So wish me luck because they're amazing. And as our wonderful players here have taken steps to ensure their comfort, please be aware that we are going to be entering into territory exploring things like, cult culture, imminent death, war media, general violence, and appropriation of historical artifacts. So if at any point you feel like that makes you as an audience member kind of uncomfortable, including right now, please feel free to zip away from the show until you're comfortable or until next time. Either way, thank you so much for coming out to spend some time with us. On we go. But soon will come the time to die, the moment our star outshines all in the sky. And through vast expanse and starry sea we find ourselves at the cusp of battle. A solar system that has reached its twilight. Its ever-expanding red star consuming its planets at an alarming rate. That day is not yet tomorrow. Alatheia has consumed Ingress, and the ship's stationed there, its expanding form inching inexorably towards the purple planet of Vacaris. The miners of Gate abandon their factories and stations in a mass exodus. The camera pans briefly through the planet underneath the cloud layer as various employees move hurriedly, constant drills over the past several decades, keeping panic to a low simmer. Still, they are slowed by the constantly shifting asteroid belt. As their usual escorts, the Seven Sisters are currently occupied. We find ourselves with the Heaven After Hell, Catafalque Squadron and Panther Squadron, a sea of violet and virulently orange asteroids float in various shapes and sizes as three task forces square off over a Tombkeeper's vessel. The moment is still. On one side, the Pleiades, its large cruiser Subaru hanging back and preparing long-range engagement, flanked by Ethra, its escort. The Seven Sisters, the carriers mid-range, having deployed 4 squads of cases in the center. Atlas hanging back to defend it. And opposite them, the Joyful Wing, the Silver Quetzal, and the Widowbird. 3 squads of cases hanging on to the retrofitted ships, barreling their way towards the engagement point, guns trained and ready for close-range engagement. And finally, the Heaven After Hell, Cherubin, Seraphim, and Funeral Bell. hidden in the shadow of asteroids along with Catafalque Squadron and Panther Squadron, and somewhere aboard the Heaven After Hell. Petal dims. Petal falls, the circle dims on a clock. The Asphodel Apocalypse astronomical clock ticks its way down one more time. And as we ready our way towards, well, it appears to be a fight, perhaps a negotiating table, we find the camera centering in on the ship, on the cases scattered across the asteroid field. Friends, where are you right now, and how are you readying for this engagement?
I don't mind taking it first, as my answer is the easiest. Alleluia is on the bridge, facing the nano glass multiple displays and watching the sort of battle play out around them. The Heaven After Hell slowly begins to shuffle its way around, I would say, an asteroid for a while, before it kind of, you see it angle its bow towards the oncoming brawl, and you'll see RCS fire sources on the side fire off in rapid succession as it slows down, cutting onto the bridge. Reduce thrust to 1/3. Bow towards our target position. Prepare all cases for launch. Not yet, though. On my signal. We watch this play out. Catafalque, Panther, check in.
I think that is a good opportunity for me to go next. We see Tenebra sort of crouched in crotch rocket motorcycle style over her control rig inside the cockpit of the mech. Some readouts in front of her showing the asteroid field around them and radar scans. This is Tenebra Shroud. We're in position, ready to go on Ensign Rose's command. They're going to lead this attack. Ensign Rose, command's yours.
Remind me, what is Tenebra's title? What's your rank?
Oh God, Commandant.
Commandant. Okay.
Got it.
Oh, right, I was muted. My bad.
That's okay. Heard, Commandant. I am in position as well, and I think we see the Penance, Archeron's case. Essentially, I imagine it as a shot of, we first see the Penance essentially hiding behind. We're all moving with the asteroids, right? We're moving in the shadows of the asteroids here. So clinging essentially to one of the asteroids, and we see just coming closer in the background, in the middle foreground, the other ships and squads that we're about to engage with, and the shot first seems like it's just Archeron, it's just the Penance up there, alone behind this the asteroid. But as we pan around, we see that behind all these kind of like scattered asteroids around, if you know where to look, all these other cases pop out. I think we have some of Panther Squad in the area, which I think, if I remember correctly from last time, most of them were helping Shinya get into position. Was, I think, the situation. So there might be a bit of a crowd in one particular corner of the asteroid field here. But yeah, it's Archeron has their kind of telescope staff case weapon ready, and is essentially just waiting for the go, right, from the bridge.
God, I forgot about all of the other guys for a second. I think not over comms, but we hear in the middle of Shinya's cockpit just an ah as he is hurtled from an asteroid to another one, or and they just like grab onto the side of it to stop themselves because Notice has just like taken their entire mech and just flung it into position.
I think we just hear Euros through the coast, like very efficient. I love that for us.
Oh god. Okay, in position. What are we doing? Orders?
Zephyrus is who pipes up, Panther Squadron's leader, and just, for now, we're sitting tight and you're not throwing up. You good in there, Ensign?
I'll be fine.
I'll take it. For now, if I understand
Come on,
the Admiral
kid.
correctly. Please,
Come on, kid. Give it a little bit more pep. I'm good. That's of course Boreas.
I'm good.
Who's built like a brick shit house.
Maury, don't scare the rook.
Never would dream of it.
You'll be fine. Just follow along. Just do what everyone else is doing, and you'll be okay.
Sure.
And definitely not over comms, but we get a shot inside of Tenebra's mech. And if he doesn't make it through, then no skin off my nose.
Yeah, and I guess at that point, Archeron in their spacious standing desk office of a cockpit, walking back to the main console, and tapping one of the buttons, going back to connecting back to the bridge. Lance Admiral, we're all in position. On your sign.
After that, Alatheia will take a brief second to like sit back for a second. Shipmaster, are you with me?
Always, Lance Admiral.
Uh,
Engines are ready.
I think as like Bass starts doing that check, engines ready, systems green, weapons lighted. Alatheia takes a second to kind of breathe in and kind of like settle themselves. In the back of their brain, not visible, we kind of see a bit of a tingle as their vision becomes slightly overlaid with at least some of these signals on the ship. And along with that, there's a slight breath, and as like eventually as he breathes out, they are saying the things Bass is saying in time with them as they finish the last check. All this is phenomenal. Please cite online. And then Alatheia speaks back to Archeron and the rest of the squad, passing all red targets to you. And I think you'll all see like a series of like target markers pop up on your HUDs, and then a sort of gold one overlaying over the carrier and the subsequent target ship. Holding for our mark. Let's see if our friends can do their job. I guess this is probably a great time to check in on the pirates. What are they up to right now?
The camera flies its way towards... Actually, flies its way past the Quetzal and the Widow Bird. And right behind them, still... Arden, callsign Osprey, still standing, arms crossed in the middle. All systems ready? Hey, you!
I'm assuming that means me, yes?
And he taps and makes a few hand signs, and you watch as a complement of cases from the back of the ships, the side not facing the enemy, detaches. And they also make their way into the asteroid field, sort of slipping between the shadows. Lance Admiral, what were you saying? We're in position.
Assuming. All right then, make the hole, and we'll clear the breach.
You certainly know how to have a fine time of it, as it were.
Just get your job done, and Alia will cut the comm from there.
And with that, first the widow bird flies straight into the middle, barreling past the blockade of 3 squadrons of cases, heading straight towards the Seven Sisters. Does not care for any of the, and as it does so, 3 squads of cases hanging onto it drop off and begin to engage. The Silver Quetzal, on the other hand, makes a side bank. It looks like it's heading towards the Subaru, readying itself for close range engagement as the Subaru itself begins to power up and fire its long range bombardment.
Right. Sounds like we're getting there. Quick question for our GM, if you don't mind.
Of course.
If I'm getting this right, the Penance ships are engaging, one peeling off towards the carrier and one moving towards to engage the Subaru. The carrier is further ahead than the Subaru currently, yes? As in
Yep.
it's... Oh, those fucking idiots. Yeah, no, I think it's like the moment Alia sees Penance ships break off to engage, like recognizing that the goal target is now in the middle of via fight where a ship like a carrier does not want to ever be, ever. You literally have cruisers for that fucking reason. Idiots, morons, idiots. Anyway, Alia will then I think open their eyes and kind of lean forward and just clear okay given. Panther Squadron, Catapult Squadron, you're clear for sortie. Engage on your own mark.
All right, folks, put on your snorkels. We're going to dive.
Wow.
Yep. I'm just gonna immediately head out again. This is, I think Archeron mostly leaves it up to everyone else how they want to specifically get there, but I will do my best to, as per usual, try and use physical obstacles, kind of like any kind of holes in their tracking systems to slip by as unnoticed as I can, I guess, in this situation. Yeah, and then I suppose just as a quick reminder, we're essentially trying to get our job is to free the ship that is currently held by the Armageddon forces, right? So we want to get there first. We want to get to the yeah, cool. Let's do that.
Well, we want to do that. We also want to see if we can deal with the ship currently holding our ship target captive, which would be the carrier.
For sure, yeah. Have we? I can't remember. Did we do an engagement roll last time?
Yes, we are at standard.
Okay, cool.
So we'll be entering this first round of engagement with standard rolls.
This feels like a group action led by Archeron. Does that feel accurate? Like we're all trying to skulk towards the ship?
Yep.
Yeah, I love it.
How's your stress right now, John?
Let me double check. I think I'm mostly okay. Well, I'm at 3 right now.
Okay.
Well, remember that John, you can convert stress into harm, right?
I can other way around. I can convert harm into stress.
Okay, cool.
So I will do the I can do skulks, which is normally what we do in this situation, but every time I do it, I have to push myself. Because, and I don't know that we've talked about it yet. Skulk is always a bound action for my character. Both because I am the ace, and one of my options is I pick between like skulk or burst, and I have to have one of those locked at all times. But also, I have a notable style. I actually also skulk with lowered position from forever. I'm not a skulker, gang.
I mean, if you want to be the decoy, feel free. That's fine too.
I mean, I'll try to skulk to at least get closer so they don't know where I came from. But I think
So remember, with a skulk, we with a team with a group action, we take the highest result.
yeah.
It's just, I think it's just like it's probably gonna cost me a bunch of stress. Is I think what Furman is trying to say.
Yeah, I have to roll 2 dice and take the
And then
lowest.
for every
so
failed
sorry.
roll, you're taking 1 stress. Just letting you know.
It's alright. I mean, Archeron is gonna be very stressed being suddenly put in a position of leading a squad on their
I
3rd mission or whatever.
Believe in you.
I actually am. Since you mentioned that, my bond with Archeron is you have no idea what you've gotten yourself into. I need to show you how bad things will get. GM, would this putting Archeron in this situation advance my bond?
I will allow it.
Cool.
Especially since you specifically pushed the roll on Archeron.
Yeah, I was trying to set that up last time. Okay, so we
Okay.
skulking.
Yeah.
Macaulay skulking. Let's go. That's a 1 from me.
Also a 1 from me.
Awesome. No, that's a good start. Let me see.
All right, it's
I have a
going great,
5.
friends.
I have my still 5 for me.
Does Panther Squadron also need to roll?
Yes. So I rolled for me first. Rolled pick the lowest. I got a 4, so my 4 is my lowest. Panther Squadron gets 1 die by default. I argue this is acting in line with their role as scout. So can we give them a second die for that?
I will allow it.
Cool. That's another 5.
Okay.
So I think our highest is a 5.
5 it is then.
Which is a mixed success. You do have 2 failed rolls though, so don't forget to pen mark 2 stress, please.
Yep.
So
Sorry, John.
That's right.
and just double checking that I'm getting your how do I put it? Your intentions are to make it to your position stealthily so no one notices. Yes.
As close as we can to the carrier and the freight ship or whatever it is.
Okay.
I think what that looks like for Tenebra and the Cunning Buzzard is like she slams her jets on, and I think she does that by like literally like moving her feet and then pressing down onto pedals. So we see a huge burst of light from behind her, but then she immediately like powers down her mech, so that she's just like looks like space debris on sensors.
Can I make a suggestion for? I don't think this would work for Eurus, but for maybe either Boreas or Notice to literally just like push an asteroid in front of them as a visual kind of obstacle.
Boreas, this is 100% Boreas.
Rips a chunk out of 1. Pay no mind. I'm not here.
I think it goes further. I like to imagine Boreas is like the heavy and like entrenchment scout. Boreas actually has like drills on their case and drills a little hole and then angles all their thrusters away from that.
Nice. I think for Eurus, who's maybe the most like scouty of the scout troop. I want to say they just have an actual like essentially the closest that we can get in this setting to like an invisibility cloak, right? Like an actual kind of like optical interference cloak that they can just kind of wrap around them.
I think Zephyrus is going to like come over the asteroid Boreas is using for cover, plant both feet on it, and use it to like burst off and like cut on comms. Nova, with me, let's go.
All right.
I think, like you'll see like Zephyrus kind of spin some and like this is called aggressive reconnaissance, and like as opposed to like trying to be overly stealthy, they are directly engaging any like enemy picket units at like the far edge of the battle space that like would notice the squadron. Zephyrus is just going to them, like comes up to one, full on front kicks one, aims his submachine gun down, blasts it twice in the cockpit. Another one comes up, throws the submachine gun, pulls out 2 laser thrusts from both sides, slashes, and just like having a great time with it.
Okay, all right. God, I was told just follow you, so okay, yep. Shinya's gonna do almost the same thing, but they are going to stay a little ways behind, and the funnels of their mech are much closer to where you are, and they are going to be the things picking off and like clearing a path so that nothing is ever close to the impulse.
Okay. So I think as a consequence of this, so as you guys sort of like push asteroids away and slaughter your way silently through the guards, your squadron and your task force aren't specifically noticed. However, so the Subaru does the command center of the Pleiades does in fact notice that they are losing scouts. What they do see is they're seeing like asteroids moving, so they're thinking they probably got squished by asteroids. But they are going to begin sending some scouts to investigate.
You can give us more. This is a mixed success. You can harm us if you need to.
I mean, the other thing is, I think the other thing that happens. Okay, if you want us to, if you really want me to go that mean, I think the other thing that happens. The other thing that happens is, you get a little too enthusiastic with the asteroid playing. So, was it not Notice or Eurus who was pushing the?
Boreas was
Boreas.
Boreas was the one pushing.
Boreas, the boulder shover.
So Boreas cannot see what the heck he's pushing the asteroid into. Unfortunately, this means he's ramming through a bunch of cases and other asteroids, and as he does so at speed, the entire thing, or the one that he crashes into, kind of maybe sort of explodes into shrapnel that it goes flying at your cases. I need all of you to take one, or the ship maybe not so much, but the cases in the area, please all take 1 harm.
I would like to resist that harm.
Go ahead.
Also, one of you can ignore it. I can ignore up to 4 harm from anybody or an ally up to this thing. So one of you can just ignore that.
I rolled 2 4s.
2 4s. All right, that is. Boo 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 boo, and to avoid negative stress and spend 6 minus the stress minus the highest result. So 6 minus you're taking 2 stress instead.
2 stress. You got it, Cap. Wow, wow.
Right. Anybody else would like to make a resist roll?
I'll take the harm. That's all good.
Okay. All right.
I like to imagine that inside the case, because she shut everything down, all of a sudden Tenebra hears like the beginnings of shrapnel, and pulls like manual levers on the inside of her cockpit to do like little like air jets, just like decompress certain like pressurized chambers so that she just kind of rolls out of the way of like larger pieces of debris, but is only doing that based on like, oh, I just heard something hit the side of my case, hope that's not a problem yet, we're just gonna keep counting.
It's like it just chips the paint off of your case a little bit, but it's definitely some scratches.
Yeah, it's the reflexive, like, I feel like there's an insect on the back of my head, so I'm just kind of like,
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that looks like that's a group action from you. Is there anything else you'd like to do before we pass on the camera to whoever wants it next?
So the Heaven After Hell is coming with us, yeah? You're like heading into the fray yourself, or?
Not just yet. I'm going to in just a moment if you let me. Is the plan I'm thinking, but I'm currently.
I
figured some cases might be a little.
Action,
yeah, I definitely want to be a part of this. I just think letting y'all get out there first, so it's not like, oh, there's an obvious ship out there. Having said that, I think Alleluia is going to like kind of like zooming out from Archeron leading the squadron through this erratic, chaotic series. We zoom back in on Alatheia, kind of like watching like the I guess like hollow ping of the asteroid become scatters, but then see everyone register like minor damage and just like, well, that's gonna get done in one case. Let's offer them more of a distraction. Fast. Have the bell and the serenade load block threes and fire on these coordinates and kind of point somewhere in the battle space off to like the I guess like northern west area, and wants them to fire some block 3 missiles over in that side. So I think we see kind of like that I guess is what they're going for here.
You see Bast just coordinate set. Offers is ready. Ready the marks. And like you hear a couple of affirmatives. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Sorry. As different officers begin to delegate their orders down, the missile silos begin to load. You watch as people ready those up. Thankfully, no one's noticed you guys yet, so it's not particularly obvious that this is happening. So, is there anything that else you'd like to do? I imagine this is a.
I want you to fire those missiles. So block four Mirage missiles are unguided sensor decoy warheads. So these aren't not meant to attack targets. They're meant to just give off a very bright sensor flare, ideally brighter than a ship, so that enemies immediately notice them on sensors and either fire at them or think there's a ship moving that way.
Gotcha.
I want to give them a bit of a very obvious distraction, and then I want to move myself in a different direction.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll for that.
Let's see. What is that? That sounds like a.
My strive, maybe.
What's it? What is? Remind us. What is your?
As the captain, my strive is to command my ship and all those under my control, under my command.
That kind of feels like it would apply to all the roles that you do.
Not everything, though. I'm like, listen, okay, all right. I'm being specific right now because I'm doing tactical ship rating thingies.
If we ever get Foxy to do something as just one person,
which we'll get there. Don't worry. Anyway,
I will allow the strive in this case.
Cool.
And you are currently making a standard roll, as you have currently not been discovered, and
yes.
Mission you're starting in.
Here comes the first 2 die. That's I gotta roll 1 more because I only had 2 die. Cool. Highest was a 6. I got a 4 and a 2 and then a 6.
4, 2, and a 6. Well, 6 is a pass. You get exactly what you want with no consequences. Congrats.
I imagine you kind of see like the bell and serenade kind of like pull up on the flanks of you heaven after hell, and then on their backs several orange bays begin to open up, about like 6 or 7 on each side, and just like we see like missiles kind of fire on, wait for a second, and then activate thrusters and kind of start arcing away around the asteroid belt. As they start getting further away, they let off really bright flares and like sensors and things like that. The moment those go off, Alatheia says, 25 degrees, anti-spinward. Half thrust, advance.
Sorry, I did not just hear what you just said over the chorus of the music.
It was pretty epic. So like that's fine. The order was 25 degrees anti-spinward advance. So we're moving 25 degrees against the rotation of the sun, moving out of the asteroid belt into the fray, as it were.
Gotcha. Okay, and we see as sort of like Bast begins coordinating with the rest of the officers on the bridge to begin firing thrusters. Turn the ship. 25 degrees. Mark. And as the ship begins to move, you watch as the sort of like a camera sort of pans away towards that location as we'll say that's close to the Subaru. As the Subaru begins to get, it was originally focused on the Silver Quetzal, which was barreling towards it, and you watch as sort of half of its guns begin to divert itself towards that sensor blank area that you just chaotic area that you just created. And as several emergency cases begin to get deployed in order to investigate, let's pass the camera back over to someone else, shall we?
So how far did we get into the fray here? The cases, I mean.
I think you guys are still behind the asteroids. There's a bit of an open space where open conflict is occurring. So you guys are still like a bit on the fringe area, but you're closer to the center of engagement. So I would say basically if you wanted to. Oh, you're right. Sorry. Let me mark a. Gotcha. With a 6, we're gonna go ahead and up that by 2. You guys are basically, if you wanted to, you could probably launch an engagement and not get an immediate. How do I put it? You're not gonna immediately get attacked.
Okay. Are we just doing the same thing then this round? Like, I don't know if anyone has
I
any
think we're
other.
close enough to break off. I mean, the clock is 3 or 4 ticks for getting position. So I think if you just take one more action to get us there, we can start having people break off, actually engage the carrier.
Okay. In that case, so Archeron will kind of connect back with the Heaven After Hell Lance Admiral, just to confirm what level of mayhem are we aiming for here with this?
Bare minimum, tractor being destroyed and the carrier offline. Bare maximum, let's hope there's not enough to say we're here.
Understood. Archeron loves to get a vague range of different options. Yep, they're gonna try and at this point I think not so much concerned with what everyone else is doing, but they're seeing their chance to try and get as close as they can, get the Penance into essentially touch range with the carrier ship. So this, I guess, would be if that is all I'm doing for this action, that would, I guess, just be another skulk to try and get in there. Yeah.
Okay, so if you skulk in, I'm gonna say you're probably going to be in the so right now there's a bit of a messy mix going on right now. You could probably go through with a little bit of difficulty, because you're just not you're fairly certain if you skulked through, most cases are probably going to treat you as an enemy from both sides. Maybe you're not sure, so it's entirely possible you might catch some heat on the way in. I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what I'm trying to avoid, right? Like that's why I'm trying to skulk, is to try and especially like use the chaos of the battle that is already happening to my advantage.
Yeah. So so I will say you probably will be able to do so. I'll say at a standard at a standard position. But the consequence of this is if you fail, you are going to definitely be taking quite a few hits.
Okay. Yep, that's fine. That's right. I'll still go for it. So I'm gonna roll my skulk here. Woofa. The highest is a 2 here. This game doesn't have any reroll mechanics, does it?
You can push yourself to get some more dice.
Can I push myself after the roll? Is that something that we can do?
It's Michelle's call ultimately.
I will allow it. It's gonna look a little interesting, but you know what? I will allow it. Sure,
Yeah,
go ahead. Spend that stress.
Yeah, 1 and a 2 really isn't what I was looking for here. So pushing myself costs 2 stress. So let me just
like
mark
I could also offer you Devil's Bargain, which is the Forge in the Dark, not part of this game, but like Forge, like it Blaze in the Dark mechanic for an actual for a definite consequence.
That's right. So I'm gonna roll my additional die here from pushing myself. It is a 4 that at least puts us into mixed success range, so that's nice. So yeah, let's go with that one.
Okay. So do you want to narrate how this looks, or do you want me to narrate? Because this is a mixed success. You are definitely taking some heat, but not as bad as it could be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can let me know what the consequences. I think thing that's just gonna happen is I'm trying to sneak into even like getting like quite close and on like they can like smell my breath essentially close to different like the ships and potentially other cases that are engaging here. Almost like this is the, for those who watched the previous episode, this would almost be the parallel to seeing Archeron like mingling with the crew and essentially being not actually even actively trying to hide, but just being kind of like unperceived by people. But clearly it doesn't quite work, and this might even just be me kind of coming out from behind some kind of obstacle and just seeing like being immediately face to face with an enemy potentially. But you can let me know what that's gonna be. I suppose this is a mixed success. I guess that means I am now at the carrier ship.
You're at the carrier ship. You can
Yeah.
probably help your the rest of your squad mates get across. Fairly, maybe not easily, but with you can probably assist them.
Yeah.
And I think what this looks like is this is, like as a success, you do make it across, and you do manage to do so stealthily. No one really notices you. The thing is, there's so much fire going through, and you watch as blades are like you see like two cases are blade fighting right now, and one gets cleaved through. Another one is firing like they're firing off with their rifles as and it's sort of like a energy beams sort of like fly through some kinetic weaponry also or just it's basically a cloud of stray fire, and a couple of them actually end up like it's not like they were aiming for you, it's just they just happen to just one of them has what's effectively a machine gun and just sprays right through the area that you're in, and you are going to end up taking, I will say, 2 harm.
Okay. Foxy, how liberal do you want to be with your like protection umbrella that you've?
Take it.
Cool.
Take both. Actually, you know what? I'm demanding you take both.
Okay. Well, so you're saying like putting both into your buffer,
Yeah.
into your.
I got one left. I'm good. I got one more left. We're fine.
Okay. Cool. What does that, Foxy? What does that look like when that, like, what are you even actually doing for that to happen?
I think what I imagine happens here is it's not necessarily actually. I think it's not directly Hallelujah, but I think it's like Panther Squadron and or some other case from our squadron who, like, as you are like realizing that you are a bit like overexposed in your approach, and like the case kind of comes over like spraying fire. I think we see like screw it, he's already there. I think we see like Zephyrus kind of just come down with his like laser sword and go straight through the middle of that case, kick it away, and just like almost like tap the side of Penance and just watch your head, all right, kid, and then like just flare off again immediately.
All right, who wants the camera? Got 3 people left.
So to clarify, are we like at a stage where we could start to board?
I will say, with some assistance from Archeron, who's there on the ship, you could probably start to board. Archeron's the only one who could, I think, is the only one who's in a position I think who could just like immediately board.
So that was I can add for context, that was also going to be my next action. This, maybe we could roll this into me doing an assist action for you. I'm happy to just like kind of can opener open this ship for you if you want.
So did we decide if ships are big enough for a case to like function inside of?
I really want us to get out of our mechs so that I'm not constantly tempted to use my strive.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just thinking. I assume. I don't know if there are any like convenient like actual docking spots for us, right? So that's why I was thinking I could still just like.
I think it'd be super sick if we disabled one of their like launching rails and went in through their hangar bay, but because okay, so in my head, what I was going to do is I was just going to be like, we would just see Tenebra counting. Turning everything back on suddenly, and then like her mech flips around and all of its afterburners fire as she lands inside of one of their hangars.
Yeah, I mean, I think that sounds good. And then if you need my assistance, we can still have that be themed as like I'm even if it's just like I'm forcibly opening the hangar doors for you, right? Like,
Yeah, that would be sick.
yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, armed gate carriers don't have launch catapults like mine do. They just have a big open bay they open and close. So you got the big old thing. You can just pry or otherwise, something like that.
Yeah, so let me just quickly double check how the aid works, because I think do I take stress for this? Is this spending 1 stress to add +1 die to their action? I think that's fine. I'm doing the Foxy this session. I'm just gonna overload on stress.
You see, now when I do it, it's oh my god, Foxy, you're trying to kill your character. But now everybody's doing it.
Yeah. So I'm like, would you like? Do you want that additional?
I would
die?
love an assist.
Okay.
Michelle,
yeah.
what kind of a role does this like very patient, like waiting for the right moment, and then, flipping the mech back on so that I'm suddenly on, but immediately too close to fire on?
Ooh, I think this one sounds to me, and you can argue against it or not, but I think this one sounds to me like a duel.
Oh, a duel. I was thinking steady, but I could go for
Hey,
duel.
steady is also, I think, also a good one because you are working delicately under pressure. So.
Yeah, to me duel feels like it is explicitly combat,
Mm,
or like engaging a foe. So it could be like a.
true, and you're also not exactly trying to avoid collateral damage or anything.
No, I in fact want some of that collateral
You
damage
do
as
want
I,
that, yeah.
turn my boosters on inside their hangar and probably kill some engineers.
Yeah. So so this is a steady action. Consequences of failure are once again going to be mostly from the well, uh, things are going to. You are in the mix right now, and right now you are. Maybe they haven't exactly noticed you right now, but they're definitely seeing you as a bit of a threat. So I would say attacking this. This is going to start a weak position unless you have something that will increase your position.
What kind of a disadvantage is it?
First off, you were attacking a tier 2 a tier 2 crew.
Okay.
So
That's all I needed to know. I'm gonna push myself to even the odds. I just badass through it.
all right.
2 dice. That's a 5.
A 5. Awesome.
Yeah, so I think to add my assist, right? Like, I think it is literally what we just talked about, that Archeron, like the penance with its telescope staff, kind of like Archeron pushes a button and the staff like shrink, kind of swings out the axe, like, the staff turns into like an executioner's axe essentially.
Oh,
and
that's even cooler.
yeah, and then I'm essentially just like crowbarring the like I'm just like levering the door open, right? I'm hacking it in there and just kind of using physical force to open the thing for you.
Yeah, I love the idea that we watch as the camera like tracks the cunning buzzard, and it's like frosty and off, and then it's right as the door is open enough for it to go through that the whole thing turns back on, and we see like the lights go. The heat inside the cockpit comes back, and it's no longer like cold breath in the air, and it's just a flurry of movement as it flips, goes feet first through the hole, and then all of its afterburners turn on, and you hear like screaming and then popping.
No. It's a Gundam show. We gotta see this. Like the camera cuts to like the below floor as you like fly in. There's like a random pilot like standing there like smoking a cigar who like as you come in, he sees you, goes to run and just like gets flash fried, just like bones and then dust and then dead. You gotta see that
it's
shit. You know,
3 frames.
Yeah.
Of person on fire, and then the mech is like in the hangar bay with short range weapons active, which I think on this I'm gonna go ahead and say I'll take a load for how this looks, but I've like short range laser pistols. which is,
Nice.
I guess, a beam weapon of some kind.
Nice. You kind of like watch as like sort of like smoke, dust, and debris begins to fill the hangar from just like the wrenching of it, the heat of your little axe sword prying this thing open like a can opener.
Not
Um,
little. It's quite big actually.
You're okay. You're
a real
really
honking
big
guy.
axe prying it open like a can opener. And I think it's so part of the consequence is first off we're taking the they definitely know you're here now. They don't know who you're with. They're definitely but they definitely know you're here now. So you watch as engineers begin to first they begin to immediately scramble away from you. You watch as they start to a couple of them the alarms start blaring on the ship as security doors begin to slowly come down, locking people in. They're locking people in with you, unfortunately, but
Like in terms of their again, like the I guess technology level, like what are we by forcibly opening the hangar doors? Are we decompressing the room, or do they have some kind of force field enabled that lets them still breathe air?
I mean, Michelle, your final call. I imagine that because Armgate retrofits mining ships, it's just decompressed. Like it's a literal like door bay they have to open. Like the cases just kind of fly out of that bay.
Yep. And like so, you've got a couple of engineers who have just been like pulled out into the vacuum of space, and you can't hear their screaming as they immediately lose all oxygen as it's ripped out of their lungs.
Well, imagine they'd have suits on because if the hangar has to be decompressed to let people let cases out,
Yeah,
they probably wear suits.
But they're still gonna like aimlessly like.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's worse. It's worse. They're alive for longer. Like it's worse, but you know.
Sorry, I have a grosser but still visually interesting version of this. They're tethered. Like decompression could happen. They're tethered, but like the decompression is so violent that you just see like several ropes immediately go taut, and then whatever's at the end of them is not bending right anymore.
Ooh.
Yeah, it really makes you want to be the guy who was like in your like afterburner fire there.
Honestly, it's shit.
The lucky ones were the ones whose rope snapped.
Are we the good guys? Are we supposed to be like the good guys or something? Maybe. I don't know.
Hey, I asked you, and you gave me a range. Yeah, so
that's true. That's true.
Yep.
Look, there are no good guys in war.
I will say also, unfortunately, the ship that you're looking for is not in this hangar.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Right,
any other? It was a mixed success. If there's any other like immediate consequences for us, I don't know.
I think something else that happens. Yeah. We'll put it this way. You violently opening up that with the hangar door. It kind of rips that hangar door right off into the vacuum of space. So if you don't dodge, you're gonna get smacked in the face with it.
Oh, so you mean me as the one who's doing the ripping?
Not you. I believe that would be a
Tensei?
Yeah, Tensei, who is right
Whoops.
behind. Right behind.
Sorry, pal.
So unless you're going to do a resist roll, you are going to be taking well, that is a full hangar door to the face of your case. So I think that sounds like a 3 harm to me.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a resist. I assume this is steel because mech piloting.
I mean, with a resist roll, you can roll with a roll dice equal to an attribute. So, if you feel like you steel, go for it.
No, steel is specifically the one that is used for resisting mech consequences.
Ooh,
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah.
Yes, you're correct. I
don't think I could twist this into a spirit if I wanted.
You talk the door down.
You take the hit, but you're still in good spirits.
I did get a 6 though.
You got a 6. All right, so you take 0 stress and you manage to dodge it.
See, no harm done. Like,
what? This must be a huge moment of badassery for you. What does it look
Yes,
like?
Yeah, it's just matrix dodges.
Tell us what it looks like, Shinya.
It's literally just like Shinya coming in and then the door flies off and all they do is like there's no ground, so this maybe doesn't make visual sense, but they just sort of hard pivot on one foot to the side as it flies right past their back.
You just like fire your right thrusters as hard as possible and just like pivot off to the side and just.
Yeah. yeah,
Man,
yeah.
just Shinya out here, just like Fortnite dancing through the through the
I
battlefield.
feel like the edge passes like a few inches right from your mech's nose. It's like perfect camera shot.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I love the idea of Fortnite dancing my way around a single piece of debris.
All right, that's 2 down. Cameras left. Which one of y'all want it?
Yeah, Tensei, I think this is you're the next person who hasn't done something recently.
Yeah. I mean, hangar's open. Shinya's just coming in, like no sweat. But they're going to let me know if this is even doable with the sort of tech that y'all have set up.
Okay.
Shinya is going to set their ISOs, their what did we call them? Individual subpilot operations.
Yeah, those things.
Yeah. Individual subpiloted operators.
Those things.
Almost got it. They're gonna set up all 8 of them to sort of autopilot around the inside of this hangar, and in case anybody chases them, they're set to just fire on enemy IFFs, like
Okay.
autonomously.
Okay, let me see. I'm trying to figure out what you're doing. Okay.
So it's more like you're setting up. You're not actually aiming for like an immediate effect. You're just gonna.
No,
Yeah.
it's like setting up Overwatch on the now permanently open hangar door.
Right. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Oh, so you're doing this to like cover our butts.
Yes.
Securing an evac.
Oh, that's sick. Okay, cool.
Yo,
Yeah.
hold
Yeah.
on. Yo, can I take our bond? Because like I feel like this is like a
Yeah,
really
sure.
good moment of brilliance, and my bond with you is why are you here? Why surround yourself with death like this? And I feel like this is like moment of like showing yourself like, hey, you're actually kind of a competent soldier.
I do things okay of it every once in a while.
Cool. Take a beat. We just filled our bond clock.
I'll take my bond once I see if this is actually successful or not.
Yeah, I'm inclined to I don't know. This might tick my bond either way, whether succeed or fail, because that's both potentially challenging and confirming I think about you.
I think Alatheia is seeing the principle and like the strategy in it, whether or not it works or not. I think that they're seeing like, oh, that's pretty smart, kid.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, that's really. Oh man, I'm not entirely certain what attribute makes sense here. Like I feel like maybe access.
I was gonna say access makes sense.
Yeah.
Access, yeah.
I would
Yeah,
lean
yeah.
towards access.
Okay.
Because it's setting up an Overwatch subroutine on your little machine guys.
Yeah.
I would say normally this would be weak, but you're setting up Overwatch here in an already established position. So I'll go ahead and roll that with standard position.
Okay. 5.
5. All right, mixed success. You get what you want. But there's gonna be some consequences. Mostly being that now that you have this like area under control, right? Let's say that one of the squadrons, it's going to be let's say, yeah, Maya. One of the Seven Sisters turns around and begins to line up a shot at you. In fact, their crew is starting to radio in for more help. So first off, reinforcements are going to be coming in, and 2, they're going to start spraying the open hangar with very marked picked shots. So they're going to aim very specifically at people, so they don't hit their unfortunately tethered engineers.
Who the fuck is leading these guys' military doctrine? Carriers in the middle of the fight, firing on their own ships. What?
They're not
here?
quite like aiming at
actually
you,
gaming
who's
these
already
people.
in there, but they're sort of like aiming for a glance at over at Archeron. So Archeron looks like you're still outside the ship.
Yeah, I'm the one who's still outside. Yeah.
So, I hope you're ready to take some damage. So that's going to be
Sure.
that's going to be another 2 harm.
Okay.
I got
So
one.
remind me
I got
if
one ignore left.
Yeah. If so, when I fill up my stress track all the way, it gives me one of the shifts, and
Mm-hmm.
it then resets my stress to 0. Is that how it works?
So either you have a choice. You can either choose to be taken out of the action some way,
Hmm.
and then you'll return to duty after the mission's over,
Hmm.
or you can shift. So something about you changes. You take on a new trait, physical or otherwise, and you continue the fight. But
Yeah.
yes, either
Okay.
way your stress is gonna go back down to 0.
Cool. Okay. And so you said 2 harm, is what it was.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do? So we're not. I'm gonna leave. Like, Foxy, you can hold on to the last protection point. I'm gonna take 1 harm myself, and for the other one, I'm gonna use my reckless move to substitute that for 1 stress, which does put me to 9 stress here. And then yeah, I'm gonna shift, and I think there isn't like a pre-made list of shifts, right? This is just something that we kind of make up
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
based on the situation. Okay, so I
It's something
think
that if it causes you trouble during a mission, you can mark some
yeah.
XP for.
So how about I'm gonna just throw this out as an idea. How about the shift is martyr? Like Archeron
Ooh.
is just like is like beyond recklessness. Archeron is actually like trying to like take harm for others.
You motherfucker.
You know what? I
I
like
think
You
it.
it's
want to make my
good.
life hard?
I like it. You're making for the sake of causing trouble on purpose, I guess. So go for it.
Okay,
I
martyr.
like it when players cause problems for themselves on purpose.
All right. Okay. Yep. All noted.
All right, you have now boarded the ship. Your next item of things to do is to see if you can't actually find the
Mhm.
Tombkeeper ship.
Foxy, did you want to take an action in between us doing that?
Hold on. Are we clarifying? You said find the Tombkeeper ship. Is it not being tractor beamed by the carrier?
It
Like, is it
is.
not
The
visible?
problem is it's on the opposite side, or maybe it
Ah.
isn't on the opposite side, but it's probably in another hangar on the carrier.
No, it's
Okay, so
small enough to fit on the ship. Okay, I didn't know it was that small of a ship. Okay, I thought it was like a bigger ship. Okay.
It's a little guy.
It's
It's
a
a little
little
guy.
guy.
Okay.
It's like
It's just
Yeah, no, I
skateboard
got it.
size when
tiny. It's a
compared to
tiny
a
little
case.
cargo. It's a tiny little
Okay.
cargo ship.
A little cargo lighter. Okay, got it. Now I got it. Okay. I that was my bad. I miscommed. Understand now.
It's a Millennium Falcon.
I think, yeah, I think as much as Alleluia wants to fully disable the carrier by firing on it, like its engines, to keep it from leaving, because that would be a good idea. They're not taking that risk when they have cases anywhere near the ship, let alone aboard it. So unfortunately, I think my only option from here is either to. How's the Subaru looking? What are they up to?
The Subaru is currently in an engagement with the. They're actually in engagement with the Silver Quetzal. The Subaru itself is, let's say, it's not handling the close range and bombardment very well.
Mm.
But its point defense Atlas is in fact, or sorry, I believe I said it was the Ethra. Sorry, the Ethra is in fact doing its best to basically block um the various missiles the various bombardments being sent by the Silver Quetzal as it comes in close.
Well, I don't really have any optimal targets right now. I think the best thing Alleluia can do is start closing the gap. We have the advantage here at this point. I think once you guys can find the relic, we have the advantage here. So I think Alleluia is going to recognize that and start trying to optimize their position. They're going to sort of lean forward a bit more and just order the bell and the serenade. It's a spearhead formation. Advance forward, thrust at 2/3. We're gonna get in this fight.
Are you certain, Captain?
What's the action that you're doing?
I don't think I necessarily have an action right now, unfortunately, given that I would fire on the
In that case, can I?
if you would.
I have a suggestion.
Sure.
And this might be even something that isn't directly aimed at Alleluia, but maybe you as a stand-in for the rest of the crew of the of the Heaven After Hell. But this would be Acheron, kind of like, uh, connecting back with the bridge. We're kind of flying blind here. Is there any way we can get a layout of the ship? Can we get a
Ooh. Like you're a genius. Perfect.
maps updated?
John, you're smarter than me right now, John. Yeah, absolutely. Alleluia will nod and respond and just tell him, officer, get me a layout of an arm behemoth class carrier. I think I'm aware of where the secondary hangar is. Can I make this a discern roll, given Alleluia's history of fighting ships maybe similar to this pattern?
I'll allow it. Go for it. And you watch as right away, sir. And as he begins to start bringing up files and files of different arm gate ships, you can see blueprints begin to pop up. You can see different modifications coming.
Can I just squeeze in with my brother's a car nerd, and so one of the things that you would have to do in this situation, I imagine, is like there are several small changes that happen across the like the 4-year period where these ships were manufactured, and so they're like cross-referencing like certain external elements of the ship and being like, okay, no, it doesn't fit that body class, it doesn't fit that body class. This piece seems like it was replaced, so we are looking at, and then we'll see if you get the right ship.
I got one die in discern. I am gonna push myself, which is also gonna take me over the stress cap one more time, because I was pretty close to it anyway, but this is gonna happen, so I'm just gonna let it happen. Highest is a 4.
All right, with a 4, and this is being rolled at a standard.
Yep.
You guys, so you figure out exactly where it is. And it's at this moment you, with a mixed reaction. So you're able to figure out exactly where it is. It's on the first off, it's on the opposite side of the hangar. So you're also going to need to either leave this hangar and go all the way or go around the cruiser and crack that open and take them out, which may or may not. But you've also found an area in the middle where they might serve as a little holding cell. Maybe you don't know if the Tomb Keepers are still on the ship or not. And finally, you watch as sort of the squads that or here we go. This is let me cook on a little bit.
You got it.
I'm cooking on it.
I also have a suggestion if you want, but
Same.
I am here for whatever you guys think is cool, but I was just thinking another deployment, but here we go.
This could be in addition to whatever else you have planned. What if, with us trying to kind of get information from them, potentially even infiltrate the systems, what if they know, or at least now have like an inkling of who we specifically are? Like, what if our like comms person who just did the research leaves a trail, so that if the Armgate people do actually make it out of this battle, they might know who was trying to access the systems.
You know what? I like that as a consequence, actually. So along with so first off, reinforcements are deployed. You watch as the hangar bay, which ostensibly the Tomb Keeper's ship is being kept in, opens up, and you watch as another squad pops out. It looks like they're getting ready to launch themselves towards your squadron. In fact, it looks they're probably being meant to reinforce specifically the hangar bay that you just cracked open.
Okay.
So watch out for those guys.
Can I add? I guess maybe not add, but I think because it seems like there are 2 places on the ship that it could be, either of which would take a bit of effort to actually get to by virtue of keeping our cases. So I think, I mean, possibly as a consequence, but also as like a way to like kind of like, you know, give someone what they wanted. I think Alleluia, as they kind of like start getting ship diagrams fed into, you know, through their fleet site, Alleluia will look at them, and once they kind of get the right one, they'll close one eye and just got it. Feeding it to you now, and like you'll all see the schematic pop up on your ships, showing like locations it could possibly be at. All right, then we have reds ingressing on you currently. Panther Squadron, move to intercept. Catapult Squadron, get on that boat and disembark. Boots on the ground.
Yeah, alright. So Panther Squadron is going to be defending you. I think that is an interesting clock. They're going to hold out as long as they can for you. In fact, I'll give them they have their own harm track, but like let's say they're doing pretty good. Yeah, okay, 4-step clock, right.
What do all the members of the Panther Squadron, how are they protecting us? I'd like to hear from the different members.
Yeah,
because I know what Euros is doing. I already know that, but I'll let you go first.
I think Zephyrus is like getting the order to reinforce is just like fucking cleanup duty. All right, you're the commander. Pile in, kids. We got work to do. It's like gonna like kind of like flip around like the case they were currently engaging, land on like the deck of the carrier, and draw like both of their submachine guns and like point them and like. And I just kind of like start like firing and like trying to draw the intercepting cases in to like come in and like duel with him on the deck of the ship.
Yeah, I think for
get some cool
Euro
tile, you know, like kicks and shit, you know, some fun, some good shit.
Yeah. Maybe actually as part of that, maybe we do even see an enemy kind of like closing in like Zephyrus' blind spot, and then suddenly just like getting like shot to pieces, right? Like they suddenly like from nowhere just kind of like explode, and we just hear over the consciousness like and Euros just going like and we see ever so slightly like in the hangar that we're currently in, like a visual distortion of that kind of like implies that there is a case currently like kneeling with a big sniper rifle in the entrance of the hangar bay, who's just been there. We just haven't noticed them like being like positioned there at the entrance.
Oh man, I was gonna do something similar with Boreas, except like it's literally planting that asteroid somewhere and using it to like further entrench the scouts.
Fucking Sky and a scout squadron. I think another calling, brother. I feel like just possibly.
I
love it though.
What I imagine is like this guy like digs holes for them to. He's the foxhole guy.
I love him.
He's Gutsman basically.
I
love him.
He's Gutsman. But yeah, it smashes the asteroid into the side, and I got it. Instead of taking shots, is like using the asteroid as cover, and then like deploying basically is loaded up with like extra rounds and stuff, and like small pieces of equipment like frags and shit like that. So whenever like we see that shell from the sniper go, and then an ammo pack just kind of like floats through the hole and it disappears inside the cloak.
The rest of the squad? Or Panther Squadron?
Yeah,
okay.
What's Notice up to?
Sorry, I've been trying to figure out Notice's fighting style while y'all are doing this. I'm going real hard into heat with like summer winds. I think that Notice does it in the like the very big bursts of speed that they get to like sort of instantly traverse the battlefield, very much overheats their mech. But they have sort of like heat routing set up so that it all ends up in the hands. So they like jump over to an enemy mech and just grab it and dissipate the heat into another mech, like melting part of it. That they then use to like toss at somebody else.
I love the idea that they also have like fuel rods that they can eject, just like boom, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, land on the hangar floor and just like sizzle into the ground.
All right. And then do we go over Zephyrus or?
Yeah, we got all 4 of them.
Zephyrus
All
did,
right.
yeah, Zephyrus did the whole like he's Sakugaing dueling people a la fucking Digesta and Unicorn. Go watch Gundam Unicorn; it's really good.
Fair
Go
enough.
watch Gundam. If you've not seen
Go
a
watch
Gundam, go
Gundam.
see a Gundam.
Go watch all the Gundams.
Gundam in your life. Go Gundam and watch it.
I watched the Gundam
Okay.
right before we started.
Exactly.
know
See,
what?
John's there.
John,
Be
you know
like
what John
John.
knows what's at. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And hallelujah, as you blink open your eye, you see out of the corner of your eye a flash of hair walking by. Just nothing special. And with that, I think now is a great. Oh, unless you wanted to say something.
I think that like Alia quickly blinks and then comes right back, and then it's just immediately like no one notices that they're that moment of hesitation except for Bast.
Nobody
and
has hair. All the officers are, required to be bald. Nobody's allowed to have hair on this bridge.
It's yeah. So
Alia is the highest rank, so that's fine.
Flag officer privileges, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, but yeah, so now I think is a good time for us to take a break. So don't touch that dial. Come back. We'll be back in a couple minutes, or so.
So we run. Thank you to Egg-chan for $20 and Flakabama for $50 to our charity of the stream. You guys are awesome. Thank you for fighting back, and we love you so much.
Reminder that those donations are getting doubled.
By me.
By
Get 'em in.
by Tensei.
So make
Double
your
your
donation.
donation.
We'll see you
Your
back.
money goes twice as far later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Hello, welcome back to Until Stars Collapse. Just a brief reminder that we are celebrating Women's History Month with Mecha March. And we do have a charity, which some pretty awesome folks. I believe it was once again. But I had the name. Somebody had written down the names for me. Aha! Our wonderful Egg and Flakobama have already donated. But please check out Pious Project's Feminine Hygiene Aid to Gaza if you have the time. It's good stuff. But back to the action, as it were. So, Catafalque Squadron have made their way onto the ship. They've disembarked and made their way in through the hallways. In fact, alarms are blaring, going off. You see people scrambling away from you, and as more people begin to push up a resistance, and further away as we expand out the scene, we settle in on a lone case, arms still folded, and inside the cockpit you see man, mark on his face. Well, I wasn't expecting that, but that seems like a lot of fun. We're heading in as Osprey and Dove Squadron launch themselves towards the Seven Sisters. And as a large claw of the Osprey scratches its way across the screen, we pass our camera to our crew. All right. No, I'm good. I like it.
Okay. I think in the hallways of the ship that we're in, that we have boarded, unless Tenebra specifically stops me, Acheron is gonna be the vanguard with a with a I don't even know if it's an actual like shield or if it's just like a big piece of sheet metal, something like that, that they're basically using as a shield running forward. And on the other hand, basically they just grabbed a bunch of tools from the like engineering from the hangar that we were just at. So on the other hand, I think it might just be like what essentially amounts to like a soldering iron, but like for mechs. So like a very large soldering iron. So that's kind of taking charge of it. Yeah, but was that?
In my head, you wouldn't need a large soldering iron, but a piece of welding equipment maybe.
Yeah, something like that, right? Like something like something big that makes sparks that isn't normally a weapon, but it probably hurts if you push it into someone. Yeah. And that's Acheron again, like being the vanguard, but very much relying on probably on Tenebra to actually kind of like take lead in where we want to go.
Can I actually? I have something for that.
Mhm.
I think Shinya is the one has like the schematic pulled up on like a wrist computer, and so they're the one saying, "Okay, no, around here, go left." Because we flash back a minute to back in the hangar. After we got out of our mechs, they found a console that one of the engineers that became snapped was still using and signed into. And they pulled up the schematic of that ship to find out like what security bulkheads closed, what's the best route. So they have made a pathway to the hangar we need to get to.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and count that one as a flashback. Sorry,
are we wearing
would you
pressure
want to do...
suits?
Sorry, what?
You're muted, Foxy. Yeah. Okay. I'm curious about what everybody looks like as we go through this next section.
Yeah. If you want to describe what you guys are wearing while you're running through the halls. But yeah, I will allow it. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a flashback. I am also going to say though that as that seems like a little bit complex and maybe a bit risky for you, I'm gonna count that as like one stress. So please take one stress in order to have that computer to guide you through with.
Okay. Got it.
Does this game not have an explicit flashback mechanic?
It does. You can establish a flashback, and it says it costs stress to go ahead and say like, hey.
Okay. I was just looking in the wrong spot then.
Yeah, it's in missions
Easy
and
peasy.
engagement if you're looking for it.
Ah, that's why.
Oh, here we go.
All right. So I guess I'll establish where you are right now. You guys are in the middle of So you guys were just in the hangar bay. You're on a walkway, which is heading towards the cargo hold, which is in the middle, or at least a retrofitted cargo hold that's not really holding cargo right now.
So are we going to the? Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and along the way, you've got a couple of paths that you can take. Specifically, Shinya, from what you know, you just need to you need to make a left in order to head towards the hangar bay that you're going for. And then, but from the right, it looks like they've got some reinforcements coming in.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna left here, but be careful. This is kind of a crew quarters area, I think. So there might be a lot of people here. And then we're gonna take about 2 corridors ahead. We're gonna take another right. They're just as much as possible, just like guiding actions preemptively.
Nice. All right. I think with that, I'm gonna say in order to let's say hmm, I'm trying to figure out what this is. I feel like this is like maybe like a rush.
Is it?
Well, yeah, I guess that's like that sounds probably like we're doing another group action, right? And then the question is
Yeah,
like,
I think it does sound like a group
like,
action.
and the question is like, are we rushing or are we skulking? Right? Is
Well, it also could be sync because we're all moving in
Sync,
harmony
yes.
with like all of us sort of taking a different role in this one movement. I don't know.
Yeah, I would prefer not to skulk. Like they already know we're here.
Yeah.
Also, every time I do that, I have to take 2 stress.
yeah, fair enough.
Tensei, are you leading our sync by like calling out where we need to go?
I guess.
All right.
Oh god, I'm the only one with sync.
That's okay. You're only going to be taking 1 stress per every failed roll, so that's a 3 or lower.
Can
Sorry, go ahead.
I was wanting just in the way that I themed the way that I'm moving through these areas. If I can use my strive for this, which for the orphan is protect those you care about, in or out of your case, it specifies.
I like it. You know what? Screw it. I'll allow it. Go for it.
Oh yeah, what is my strive?
Well, again, it's like I just got like a very unhealthy shift, so that might play into this.
Well,
Okay.
every time it gets you in trouble, you can go ahead and mark XP.
We'll see.
Rolling 2 and taking the lower. Sorry, Tensei, in advance. That's a 2 on my lowest die.
5 for me.
I wanna push myself so that I have more than 1 dice.
Okay.
So I'm. It's not bad at all. God.
Okay, so
But
we've got 2
but it
fives.
prevented a 1 from me.
It did prevent a 1 from you. So, but that would have only just given you some more stress. So you're only taking 1 stress from this, thankfully. Well, unless do we actually that is a good question. Do you
Pushing
count
yourself
every
is 2
failed roll?
stress. So
Yep.
you're taking 2 stress plus 1 stress.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's definitely a question mark, but we'll go with that one. So yeah.
Otherwise you would be punished rolling multiple dice. That's I don't
Yeah,
think that's how it
yeah.
works. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So with a 5, the 3 of you make your way. The 3 of you make your way in sync. I'm gonna say with a mixed success. Yeah. Okay. So with a mixed success, it says you make your way through the crew quarters. Coming up behind you, you actually. So as you're making your way, I'm assuming you guys are like looking around as you're going through. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not. I don't know. You're being pretty protective. But instead of aiming for your front, John, you feel a shot to your back. So, unless you want to roll something to resist consequences, you're going to be taking 2 soul harm as a pistol goes off into your left shoulder.
That's okay. I realized like I think my reckless move is just better than trying to do resist rolls. Well, maybe not better, but like it's usually probably the way to go. And I think that's fine. I'll do half. I'll take 1 soul harm and 1 stress with my reckless move.
Tell us what that looks like. We can roll back that fiction. Tell us what it looks like. Oh, Vermin, you wanted to say something?
I was just going to say, don't forget that taking armor is an option.
Yeah, I do know that. I figured I'll probably need to use my load to actually, since I already described the like weapon. I guess the shield could actually technically count as armor. The shield that I'm carrying around with me. That is a good point.
You don't have to use it now. I'm just reminding us that that's an
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah, good point. But yeah, for now we'll just, since especially since it is a shot from the back, I'll take one harm, one stress, which I think given that the move is called reckless, I think this isn't so much that I'm like in any way avoiding the harm or like dodging the attack or anything like that. I think the adrenaline just kind of pushes me forward and means that I am getting shot, but it is, for me, it's more like a it's more of a surprise. Like, I'm more surprised than I'm injured by this. I'm like, oh, what's happening? What's going on? Somebody, you know, I felt a sting in my back. Do I see anything? Is it? Do we see where the attack is coming from?
Yeah. So behind you, you watch as a bunch of vaguely nervous, and not so nervous. So a couple of them are like clearly soldiers, but you've got a couple who are engineers. Probably a couple of the ones who are friends with the ones who are currently dangling in the hangar outside. And it's one of the nervous engineers actually that's fired it off. You see like a smoking pistol as it's just sort of they're shaking hands as they're sort of just like pointing, just like, hey, hands up.
Mm. Yeah, but
I know what I do in this situation.
Mhm.
I imagine I'm gonna take the 2 load for this. But I have a large weapon, and I'm imagining this as like a not like a short range like tactical rifle. Something that's precise, but like for using inside of a ship. So it's not like a sniper rifle. It's just like a shorter version of a similar concept. And yeah. It's the BR-33 from Halo. And yeah, just like prat, aiming at the group of enemies behind us. Just trying to like take them out with as few shots as possible.
All right. Um. Okay, I think that one. Phew. Okay. Okay. Is that? I'm trying to think about what that is, but I think steady or rush. You're like reacting quickly to a problem or working.
I was thinking it would be in shooting quick and clean.
Clicking duel. Yes. You know what? Screw it. I feel like I'm mixing those two up actually. Steady and duel. We'll go with duel. Yeah, because you're avoiding collateral. I'm assuming you're intentionally avoiding collateral damage. There we go.
Yeah,
There.
yeah. It's a quick couple of shots.
Mhm.
Is my thought.
All right. I will say since you're facing off against what looks like mostly untrained, um, I mean, like they're mostly mechanics. They're not really trained for fighting. So I'm gonna say you can go ahead and make this roll with a strong position.
Okay. So yeah, I'll make that roll.
What did we get?
We got 2 2s, which I don't love.
Oof, that is a that is a total fail. All right,
I don't
so
think I
that
want
goes
to push myself here.
that goes completely wrong. So wait, I'm double checking. Were you intending to kill these folks, or were you intending to just like knock out the?
Oh no! I was trying to kill them.
Oh,
I
okay.
was trying to make like I was trying to shut down a firefight.
Okay. Gotcha. I think what happens is, and tell me if you got to if you have a cooler idea. But I think what happens is it's when you hit when you hit your first person. I think it's the kid with the smoking gun. Um, it's not quick at all. Not clean. It's one of those. It's like a really messy, bloody, slow kind of death. There's a choked off. As I think what you end up doing is you puncture a lung. It's a kind of slow death where blood fills the cavity and you kind of drown in your own blood. That kind of death. And instead of stopping and firefight, you watch as the various mechanics are like, he's a fucking kid, and immediately they all start pulling out service pistols, whatever thing, anything that they can grab, wrenches, toolboxes, blow torches, and they launch themselves towards your group. This is
It was
just
yeah.
Yep.
It was a failure. So like, if you want to dish out some harm for that.
Yeah. I think what they do, yeah. So they're gonna aim for Tenebra as the person who instigated it. So I'm gonna say they're concentrating fire on you. If you don't do anything, you're gonna be taking. Well, you're
Of
gonna
course
be
I'm
getting.
gonna resist. Like,
Oh yeah,
come
on the business end of like. So go ahead and make that resist roll. But yeah, otherwise, if you aren't, that's looking like a good.
Does position make any difference here for a failed roll?
Position. Ooh, yeah, with a strong position. Let me see.
I have instead of necessarily immediately taking harm, what if the kid who like starts to die like hits a button and
Ooh.
like a bulkhead drops between me and the rest of the party?
Are you're cutting off the person who wants to be the martyr in this situation?
You know what? If you're okay, if the rest of the group is okay with it, I think that sounds really, really cool.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that puts me in an awful. It could be harm, but like, I think the changing the fiction so that I'm a little bit fucked for a while is more interesting than like, we get shot.
Gotcha. I think I like this idea. So you are now separate from the group, and I think for the rest of this scene, unless you make it out, you're going to be making rolls with a weak position.
That's fine.
All right.
And yeah, I mean, in that case, yeah, because Archeron was like ready to jump in into the fray there and position myself between them. But like, if suddenly Tenebra gets cut off, Archeron will like after a second to like assess the situation, will essentially like grab Shinya by the arm and like run, further through the tunnels here, and essentially just like probably just grunting something to you, but like essentially making it like, I'll need you to be the eyes here. I'll need you to tell me where we're going, and I'll bulldoze away ahead for us.
Yeah, they're just. I think they like lose their place for a second. It's like, oh god, and then they sort of like reclaim their their vision on their own arm as it's like yanked away. It's like, so there's probably a brief moment where we take a wrong turn or go too far and miss a turn, but other than that, it's pretty easy to like course correct.
Gotcha. All right, so we've got Shinya moved, Tenebra moved, Archeron. Did you make a? I don't think you've made a roll yet.
Yeah, apart from the initial group action that we did, yeah, I mean, I guess for me it would be just like a, yeah, I don't know what that would be. I'm essentially, I want to free up the path that Shinya tells me so that we can get there, right? Like essentially, I'm now relying on Shinya to navigate us, and my job is literally just to, if there's anything in our way, whether that's like a closed door or a person, I'm gonna, eliminate that obstacle.
So that sounds like to me, that one actually does sound like to me like a rush or a sink, but I think more on the rush side because you're trying to react quickly to anything that's coming into your path as you basically barrel your way.
Yeah, I could see rush. I could also see burst maybe. Attack without holding back, depending on how many people we encounter, I guess, in this scenario.
Fair. But I think in this case, because you haven't encountered anything yet, you're reacting to it if it happens. It makes more sense if it's a rush.
That's all good. I don't have any points in rush, so I'm gonna roll on like with with a disadvantage here. So that's 2d6 and the lower, right? Like that's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, that's a 1 then.
Oof. Okay. That's we're not rolling great, guys.
I haven't been rolling great this entire campaign, to be honest.
Oh dear. Okay. I think so once again, what's a weird thing to happen on a ship? Brain. You know what? I think that what happens is we're having another split up. Although in this
Mhm.
case it's not a split up of like with the door, but there's a sharp turn. I think Shinya's just like, hey, man, if you really need to make it's a hard those corridors where like you go down and like as a sharp turn like inward.
Yeah.
It's that, and you're going at so fast a clip you rush right past into another area. And you basically Shinya's trying to direct you over there, and he ends up in the correct path. So he's getting closer to the Tomb Keeper ship. But you have now been separated as you've gone through, and well, there's people in the way now.
Right. Oh, okay. So so it was one of those like, okay, we'll need to go down this corridor and
Yeah.
Akron is already running down the corridor until the end. Then, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so like you bow right past. Actually, you know what? It's not even that people are there. It's more of it's like one of those like employee access doors that sort of like so Shinya manages to slide right in right before it closes, and now you have to take a longer path.
Okay. Whoops. All right, Jenny, this is on you now.
We have our three crewmates have been catapult squadron mates have been how do I put it? You guys have been separated now. Good luck. And as sort of like the camera just like a flash freeze of like, Archeron, I think you've just realized that Shinya is no longer following you.
Mhm.
Shinya, you are alone in an empty passageway that is a maintenance tunnel and is looking very empty, ominously. And Tenebra, you are surrounded. The camera sort of pans out and then back in towards the bridge of the heaven after hell.
I've muted the whole time on stream. I'm so sorry. I've muted the whole time on stream. I'm unmuted now. I think Aaliyah is going to wait, and at that moment, they're going to calm over to the Pavanis commander, recognizing that things are going very poorly, and just, Commander, if you would, question.
And you watch as like sort of as Osprey now sort of just rips apart a mech, throws the two halves of it aside, one another. Yes, I have a moment. As he goes and turns around and like jabs an elbow blade through it, mech coming up behind him. A little
Andy's
busy
so
though.
cool.
Make it quick.
Well, not to interrupt your fun, but I had a question. Your presence here, were you hired by the Tomb Keepers to secure their vessel?
Like one moment, as he turns around, leaps over, and you watch as what looks like a shadow just zips right through and cuts out another person, another mech behind him. It's one of his dove squadron. Before that one also leaps away, as that mech behind just sort of like you like hear like a 5-second beep, 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 boom. Well, Well. Most people wouldn't even come to that conclusion.
I'm not most people.
You got me.
I would assume then your intent is to board, dismount, and secure the vessel for yourselves, as we would.
Just about.
Indeed. Very well then. I will not request any further information from you. Rather, I request a parley with you, aboard either my ship or yours.
A parlay! You know how things work here. Parlay is quite sacred.
No, not my first dealing with pirates. I'm aware of your codes and creeds, twisted as they may be.
Well, in the moment, I am afraid I am enjoying this glorious combat. After you've secured the cargo, see about a parlay, shall we?
I'll double the offer for you instead. My squadron is currently inside the ship, making progress, but slowly. They can use reinforcement. If you intend to board, reinforce my squadron. Secure the vessel together, decide what to do with it then. Meanwhile, you and I discuss terms. What's a captain that can't leave things to subordinates, yes?
Give me a sway roll here.
I was hoping you wouldn't say that. I'm gonna... Ooh.
And go ahead and make that at a... We're gonna say make that at a weak roll. He's in the a little bit busy right now.
I'm gonna do a thing I really shouldn't do. I'm gonna push myself twice again. I have now 4 stress away from not great things, but I've got 2 dice here.
You're not allowed to complain about this.
I'm not complaining. I'm just being aware of what the situation is. That's all. I'm narrating for the audience so they can know what mechanics I'm using. That's all. I never complain. Except when I do.
Just so you know, every time he's shifted twice, when he reaches his 3rd shift, he's out.
I'm gone. For context, however, I rolled 2 dice as I took 2 shifts to get 2 dice in sway. I got a 1 and a 5.
Dev Squadron. And you watch as several cases seem to melt out of the shadows of the asteroids and the conflict. Be a dear and provide some support for those. Provide some support for that funny squad at the open hangar doors.
They are called Catapult Squadron, and they are my elite soldiers. I'd ask you to offer them some respect. Fuck off, John. I'm trying to be nice to you right now.
Like, oh, Catapult Squadron. Yes, you guys are the ones who had delightfully cracked open the golden Quetzal. Yes, I remember them. It was certainly inspired. Very well. Widowbird. It seems we are needed for like you hear him comment to Widowbird to the Widowbird. It appears that we'll be making parley in the middle of fire. Be a dear and throw out and ground the 7 sisters. And you, I think, as part of the unintended consequences of this, you watch as the Widowbird sort of rams its way towards where the engines are of the, and like you watch as sort of like the it's a retrofitted cargo ship. It's not really meant to be taking ramming speed ships. So you watch as the entire ship rocks. The engines sort of like sputter, And for those of you who are still on the ship, I hope you haven't been thrown. But maybe that's good for you, Vermin, because all the people who are around you have now fallen flat on their asses. But you watch as sort of the lights on your ship flicker, and then go
Oh,
out.
we're short on time.
Parlay then.
All right then.
Top of the round.
Can I get a tick for helping out my friends?
You may, in fact, get a tick.
Cool. Then I think Alleluia just takes a breath and stands up. Fast. The ship is yours. I'm gonna shuttle.
Are you certain, Lance Admiral?
A shuttle and an away team. And yes, shipmaster. Desperate times. And Alleluia doesn't move their face at all, but I think through fleet sight and the link that they have, Bass can sense that they are. This is last cards in the deck. This doesn't work. They have nothing else.
All right. Well, then I will keep the ship ready.
I'll be back.
Stay safe. I'll be watching.
Well, I think as they turn to just kind of walk away, just wouldn't have it any other way. And the fact that there is a lilt and or a jokiness in their voice is definitely a sign that they are terrified.
Yep. Oh boy! Who wants the camera? Unless you'd like the camera. Keep the camera.
How many people am I faced off against now that the ship has rocked and it has gone dark?
Ooh, okay. So you hear some groans from a tangle of bodies. You imagine a good 3 of them are duck right now. There's 4 of them left. Yeah, well, not including the one who kind of fucked you over, but that's a dead body now.
Yeah. I think what I want to do here is yeah, they're in shambles. It's dark. I think I just scoot.
Cool. Are you trying to rush through this, or you're trying to skulk through this?
Oh no. I'm just trying to dip. I'm
all right, cool.
Getting out.
I'm gonna say
5,000.
I'm gonna say, thanks to the unintended consequences, you can go ahead and make this rush at a strong position because they can't see for shit.
I planned it. I coordinated it. All planned, all tactical, all strategic, all in my purview.
That's if you're just trying to get away, though.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Right now, I'm trying to get away, and yeah. The problem is I don't have any dice in Rush, so I'm going to be rolling to taking the lowest. And even if I push I'm going to push myself to get an extra die here. So I'm rolling with 1 die.
Come on.
It's a 1.
Oof. That's not great. So I think what happens is, and once again, tell me if you think there's something cooler, is you almost make it out. But that dead body who had already, so that dead person, that kid who had screwed you over, you didn't see where he landed, and you kind of tripped and face planted in the growing pool of blood that's on the floor.
That makes me sound incompetent, and I don't like it.
Okay, then
I would prefer if I round the corner, and there's somebody else there who just clotheslines me.
Oh my
and
god!
was just waiting for me.
You know what? We'll do that instead.
Yeah.
We're doing that instead.
all other things being equal, I would have gotten away,
Yes.
but there was just somebody I couldn't have known about.
Yes, I like that one better. We're doing that. I'm gonna say it's like it's a particular, like, it's not even a particularly tall person. They just happen to have their arm like right where your throat would be.
But they knew I
Yeah.
was short. Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, it's so unless you want to go roll me a resist roll, please go ahead and take some. That's oh wait, that's a rush right through. Please go ahead and take some like 3 harm.
3?
It was just as a reminder. It was as a strong as a roll from a strong position.
Oh, you're right. Strong roll. So, yeah. So, yeah. Go ahead and take 2 harm instead, please. To the throat.
Okay. Yeah, 2 harm.
You're right. Unless you want to do a
It's
resist
done.
roll. Okay, cool. You could do a resist roll if you wanted, but I guess we're not doing.
So I'm at almost capped stress, so I'm saving it.
Join the club. Join the shift
Fair
club.
enough.
Why not?
Not yet.
Fair enough. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to note in this scene while you are maybe have an arm around your throat and are maybe choking, or do you want to pass the camera to someone else?
I mean, if you'll let me take another action, I think what I would want to do is pull out a concealed melee weapon. And if their arm is around my throat, it would just be like knife and then flip it around and go where I think their armpit is.
Ouch.
Honestly, so I'm gonna allow that one without needing to roll for that one. So you're free, but you know, that's yikes.
You gotta aim for where there isn't as much armor.
All right. Camera, who wants it next, Shinya or John?
I can make mine fairly quick. For Archeron, I think without Shinya, Archeron doesn't know where to go to actually get to our objective, but I think they might have enough recollection of how we got here to either retrace the steps or even just like find a quicker way potentially to get back to the hangar. So I would love. I might argue for a discern roll here as like draw logical conclusions as like this is my best way back to the place that we came from. And then ultimately I'd like to get back into my case, but that's gonna happen when we're there.
Go ahead, make me that discern roll.
Yeah. So I have 2 in discern. Because this isn't necessarily rushing. It's just I'm trying to find the correct way.
And I'm gonna go ahead and make that at standard. Sorry.
Sure,
whoa,
yeah.
with the 6, you get exactly what you want. You
actually
are.
got 6. Wow.
6 we needed!
Wow. Woo! Yeah, you get exactly what you wanted. You know exactly, like you somehow remember exactly which path you took. In fact, you recall like just looking at or like just seeing a little bit of Shinya's display that there's actually a slightly more optimal path if you just turn around and make a right instead of a left, and you'll actually be at the hangar by going actually dipping under the ship a little bit.
Yeah,
So like
yeah, sure.
like make a right to go down the stairs and go up a little bit, and you'll be there way faster than you.
Yeah. Do we have from our like pilot suits? Do we have like kind of comms connection, both like with each other as well as with the ship?
Yes.
Okay.
I was gonna say I would imagine that we would, except the risk would be that like when you're inside a ship using comms, it's easier for people to catch your radio chatter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is fair enough. In that case, yeah. So that is a good point. In that case, what I will do is, as my like last thing before we switch focus to someone else, as soon as I'm like jumping back into my case, and specifically opening a comms channel back to the ship, I think maybe like expecting the Lance Admiral to be there, but I assume whoever else is like the second in command on the bridge is gonna.
You see Bast's face pop up, just going.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah.
And then Rose.
What's Bast's does Bast have a rank and title or
Shipmaster.
shipmaster? Right, yeah, that's true. Yeah, Akron is gonna be like, oh, shipmaster, didn't expect to see you. Would you be able? And I'm saying this like as I kind of like get my case back into action. Would you be able to ping me as close as you can the position of Commandant Shroud and Ensign Nova on the enemy vessel?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was reading something. So you
Yeah.
said
Essentially, if Best can do this for me, I'd like them to give me to ping for me the positions as close as they can to of the other two, the two like Tenebra and Shinya on the ship.
There's nothing Bass can't do if you believe hard enough.
yeah, and you just watch as Bast sort of like, one clawed paw just sort of swipes across the like a glowing display, and it like transmits over to your whatever computer you're using to view things. And you just see like a ping. It's like like almost like a 3D like model of the ship.
Exactly. Yeah.
One where Tanabra is, and another where Shinya is, who is rapidly approaching where you estimated where the Tombkeeper's ship is.
Okay. And yeah, just because we're looking at the clocks here as well. Yeah, up to you, I guess. How like which of these roles is going to take up our clocks? For me, I think my full success was mostly just to get myself out of the precarious situation that I was in. But yeah, so that's good. We can switch over to Shinya, and I think for Archeron is gonna make their way in the case essentially on the outside of the ship to. I guess more specifically because Shinya is going to another hangar, right? So I'm essentially going to make my way outside of the ship to the outside of that hangar, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
The getaway, as it were.
Yeah.
Camera pass to Shinya.
Shinya moving along, looking at their thing. As soon as they realize that Acheron is gone, just immediate panic. Oh my god, I'm alone. Acheron! Where are you? Are you? God damn it. And they start to go backwards. Thinking like, okay, maybe they took a wrong turn. Maybe I can like go back a corridor or two and find them. But Acheron having already run back to their case, Shinya cannot find them. So I guess I'm on my own. And they're just gonna like as cautiously and as slowly as possible keep making their way towards the hangar with the Tombkeeper ship. Absolutely terrified of what they will do if they run into somebody.
I think you've got a little bit of advantage here. Most of the how do I put it? Most of the heat is on Tenebra right now, and Acheron is already out. So, and with the total darkness, you are only seeing red blinking emergency lights in the maintenance hatch that you're walking through. It doesn't look like anyone's like you don't hear anybody walking through. It's just the echo of your own footsteps as you make your way through. And as you traverse towards the main hangar, I would like you to make me go ahead and make me a skull roll.
Cool. Oh, I so wish that could be the 6, but it's not. It's the 4.
4. Okay, with a big
We'll take the
success.
4.
Yeah, four's
Yeah.
good. So you make your way unmolested to the Tombkeeper ship, or to the hangar. Like it opens up on the hangar, and you see. Well, look at this. It's a small purple colored ship. It's definitely a cargo ship. You can see the sort of open circle logo with the keyhole in it, symbol of the Tombkeepers emblazoned on its side. It's also pretty cracked. Like, you're not certain if it's space-worthy right now.
Okay. Got it here? I'm here. That's the thing. I don't know how to fly that. And even if I could, I don't know if I could get out of here.
Where's the cargo?
Right. Where is the car? I
Ooh.
think Shinya is going to, unless there's visible signs that cargo has been offloaded, I think Shinya is just going to get on the ship and start looking around.
Ooh. All right, you get on the ship, and what you see is, so as you enter in the cargo hatch, you see a large, what looks like a big stone monolith to the side, covered in what looks like feathered patterns, and then also like moon phases, right? Like just like carved crescent moon phases. You see things like um incredibly detailed carved wooden masks that you imagine those are likely funerary masks for various Arbor Harthians. Um, there's a couple of what looks like sea monsters. Like there's a pretty large sea monster skeleton from Quillen just in the cargo hold. You're like, what the? It's like the first, like it's just a massive skull. It's like the first thing you see.
This is all fascinating. I think Shinya loses themselves in the artifacts for a little bit before, like they've gone up and they've like kind of run their hand over the skull, and they've gone up and they've like examined the moon patterns on the obelisk sort of thing before going, wait a minute, was I ever told what we need to get? Or was it just get the cargo?
Pretty sure you were present for mission briefing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but
like,
again, we
you would know
didn't.
what we're after.
But this is
But we don't know. Do we know what we're after? We just know whether we're after the relics.
That's true.
yeah. Is it
Well, take the ship.
God, is it all of it? This thing is not shipworthy, and I don't know if Shinya knows how to fly it.
Well, you have a friend coming who has a big robot with hands.
I do have a friend coming. Camera, go away.
The camera
Shoot,
flies
shoot,
away. You watch as you're not sure where the crew is, but just like a glance to the cockpit sees well, that's a corpse. Sorry. But yeah, so the camera sort of like flies out and heads towards, I'm guessing, Hallelujah.
Seems like that's the play right now. Yeah. So I imagine the camera cuts to like first like an RCN pattern albatross dropship, which is kind of moving through the void of space towards, if I remember, it's the Widowbird, which is the ship that we have
It's the
with us.
Widowbird, and it's made its
Uh,
way out from the mix.
mhm.
And
I
and
think
it's sort of like parked a little halfway through.
the Heaven is going to pull off and move to engage with the well, no, sorry, no, the Heaven will actually pull and kind of remain sort of back. I think the Cherubim Serenade and the Funeral Bell will both pull off and begin to engage and start firing torpedoes at the remaining Arum Gate cruiser, trying to like make sure we can deal with that and keep that off, since that's still a threat, technically speaking. But I think the gunship will move to a sort of like the perch at the top of the Widowbird, allow a docking port to open where a suited Alleluia exits, with their helmet on, and eventually steps inside and takes off the helmet after pressure seals and just. Right then. Have business with your captain?
Fancy, sure. And they'll lead you to a room. It's got a nice leather couch. It's circular. There's a unopened bottle of wine with two wine glasses at a low table, and sitting down on the couch, still dressed in combat gear, and I think like I don't remember how I described Arden, but he's tall. He's got a scar right across the face, bright red long hair, and is looking at you with a sharp golden eyes gaze. Welcome, Lance Admiral.
Captain, thank you for having me. This won't take a moment, I'm certain. And Aluya will move towards like the other couch chair area. I don't think they'll sit yet. They will, however, take the wine glass and swirl it. They have not sipped it yet at all.
Ah, smart of you not to sit. We don't really have that much time, although... You've certainly made some time.
By my estimates, the situation is currently within tactical flexibility for my, within operational tactical flexibility for my forces. As far as I'm concerned, we have the upper hand. Let us see how long that lasts.
Well, against the Pleiades, I have to say that was quite an interesting maneuver. Normally, we'd never be able to fight off the sisters that well, but that was certainly an inspired choice. The Subaru is quite busy right now.
Catafalque Squadron's tactics are unique. I have found my own uniqueness to adapt to them sometimes. You want to hear discuss tactics, however. Let us be frank. As we understand it, the situation will resolve itself amicably soon. With your troops docking and mine already on board, we will have the vessel, I imagine, within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Assuming we can evac it, subject is complete. There's only the matter of the Armgate cruiser still currently fighting us, and how we escape.
Yes, that is a bit of a pickle, isn't it?
Why? As an RCN admiral, I can't be seen working with the pirate directly. I look poorly on my military record. However, your help has been admirable, and I wouldn't soon scorn you immediately for no reason.
Well, we were paid quite a handsome sum to see those relics delivered safely.
So you know they're important.
Of course they are. They go for more than 5 million on the black market.
Handsome price. That, assuming average ship pricing, engraving things, if you can get to a proper Lagrange station, I imagine that gets you at least 1 or 2 more of your rolling ships. A full crew, perhaps. You could double your operations here. Break in profits for the next quarter, perhaps even a full cycle or 2.
It'd be more than that. As soon as that star explodes, I can see those prices easily quadrupling.
Yes, there is the matter of the star exploding. Sounds as if you have an admirable plan for what you do once the relic is in your hands, Captain.
Oh, nothing quite like that. It's just good business.
Good business. Indeed. And it's for that reason I
Not
hope you
to mention
understand
those
this.
tomb keepers would rather
Sorry,
have. Not to
Please.
mention those tomb keepers would rather have us handle those relics than those capitalists. Bits to the side.
While I'm no fan of Gate, I wager the Tomb Keepers only trust you as far as they can throw you, or shoot you. It's a matter of convenience, really. You are a safer bet than the Gate, just as I am a safer bet than they are for you. You don't intend to give the Tomb Keepers back their relics, do you?
We haven't. So we have a nice operation going here. The tomb keepers lend us their relics. We sell them for a nice price to their own collections. We take a nice little skim off the cut.
Hmm.
It's a
Then
win-win,
again,
really.
even with the star dying, all people can do is find reason to exploit each other. And we'll have no more of it. Forgive me, Captain. I hope you can understand what happens next. Michelle, you mind if I mark a load?
Sure.
I'm gonna draw a pistol.
Whew. Oh, you're a bold one.
Desperate times, as said.
Well, no, that's violating terms of parley.
Pirate can only trust oneself as far as their gun goes. I've learned a lot of your codes in the time. Didn't say I agree with them.
Pirates have their own sense of honor, you know. But as they
But more
say,
than that,
live in the moment.
and I'm assuring you that in this moment, you'd want to prioritize self-preservation. Sure, I could kill you and your crew could kill me, and then we both leave here dead. But what's the profit if you can't live to see it? So why not try to keep that going for as long as possible? I don't want a whole lot.
Mm. Well, let's put it this way then. We'll, together, bring the relics over. I take my cut, you take yours, and we'll leave. And
Unfortunately,
nothing has to happen.
it's an admirable offer. Were you one I could take at your word? Fortunately, I'm not in a position to take those kind of risks, Captain. So this is what's going to happen. Your crews will board. They will find my crew, likely already with the relic. They will stop any arm gate defenses currently holding them off. You will allow my crew to escape with the Pavana's ship. Miss just this mark this once. Keep your operation going for as long as possible. And I don't report you to the RCN. Put a bullet in your head right now. Option 2 is, well, I do that.
Go ahead and give me a sway roll.
I knew you'd say that. I'm gonna.
Can we argue for steady here? I feel like steady might be a.
I
I will
take
say,
steady.
I will take
I'm
steady.
better at steady. Thanks,
I will take
John.
steady.
I was thinking just for the work under pressure. I feel like this is a pretty stressful situation.
Yeah. Okay, I got 2 dice. I got 2 dice already in steady. Here we go. If ever there was a time to roll 2 6s.
Oh, is a crit. Okay. Um, damn. First off, you get exactly what you want.
I
You get
always do.
everything you want, and
I
I'm double
always do.
checking what the heck a crit does. Let's see. There's do anything else that crits do. Oh, okay. Well, you get everything you wanted and then some. Is just what I'm going to say. You watch as Arden sort of just, all right. Um, you're a ballsy little shit. You know that.
It's the first time hearing that.
All right, kid. Go on. And he is like, birds. It seems we'll be following this kid's lead for the next cycle or two.
Hmm. Yeah, sorry, that wasn't in character just yet. I think Hallelujah is going to like nod, slowly step backwards twice, and then holster the pistol. And as they kind of like turn and like gather their hair back into like a tight ponytail and put their helmet back on, it's only when like their re-helmeted they finally like let out a very, very shaky breath that they did not know they were holding.
I'm like, kid, as like just before Arden leaves with with some of his squadron behind him as he ready, like, also helmet under arm. You're doing good. You got balls.
Pardon?
You got some moxie. You got that interesting thing that you don't see very often around here.
Fuck. Sorry.
It's like,
I, sorry. I don't fully believe I understand.
folks don't like it when nails stick out.
I've
So
never tried
here's
to
just
stand out,
my
really.
advice to you. Be careful. And he leaves.
Strange day. Fast. I'm redocking. Inform the squadron that I've offered us some kind of support. And a way out of this, if we're careful.
You are coming back immediately, Lance Admiral.
That will be the plan, shipmaster. Just going to, and to kind of like settle back in the dropship, just going to rest my eyes for half a second. That's all.
And I think with that, we're going to head back to our crew.
Holy
Wow.
shit, that worked. Fuck. Oh my god.
What a time to get a double crit. Alright, so relics are on the ship. You guys you have full support of the joyful wing, so you no longer need to worry about Panther Squadron holding out. All you need to do is get that ship out. Or not. In fact,
What's Tenebra up to right now?
yeah, what are y'all up to?
So I had to move through like a different part of the ship to try and catch up with the rest of my team, who I assume are all back in the direction I was expecting. But you mentioned earlier that there was a thing on the far side of the a far side hangar, and then there was some kind of retrofit in the middle of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there are maybe prisoners there, so I think I'm going there.
Ooh,
Because
I
what
like it.
I need right now is other people with weapons besides just me.
Gotcha. All right. So you arrive at ostensibly what used to be the cargo bay. It looks like part of it has been repurposed into some kind of brig. And on one side, you've got what are maybe pirates, probably pirates. And on the other, you see some robed individuals who are very like they're wearing the same sort of monochromatic robes that you remember seeing on Sage Schwartz, um, and Magus Murden, and they're just sort of like they're just sort of sitting in this hold, meditating. They're not really doing anything. They're just kind of just there.
What do we got for guards?
For guards, you
Is there anybody here like guarding the brig right now?
well, the lights are all off. So, but you can. I think there's about there's one person standing in front of each sort of like cell door. Although the one sitting in front of the tomb keepers is looks like they've fallen asleep or maybe hit their head when the ship got rocked.
Um Yeah, if that's the situation I'm walking in on, I am going to immediately, like, as soon as I get my bearings in the room, I'm gonna fire my bullpup at the more alert guard,
Gotcha.
and try not to shoot anybody in the cage behind them.
So careful shot, no collateral, I'm guessing? I'm
Yep.
guessing. Alright, then go ahead and make me that duel roll.
A 6.
A 6! Alright, you get exactly what you want, no consequences.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and then I'm gonna check the other guard, to see if they're actually alive.
They're alive. You could see a little bit of blood trickling down their temple. It looks like they maybe bashed their head against the bars when the whole ship rocked.
Okay. Cool. How many pirates are in the other cell?
You've got a small crew, a small trio of 3. And on the Tombkeeper side, it looks like there's a grand total of 2.
Hey, I'm gonna spend beats. I know one of these pirates.
Hey.
I am completely certain where their loyalties lie. That's how I'm gonna spend the beat.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I think what happens here is Tenebra's. I haven't talked about Tenebra's pilot outfit, which is like a white and like with red stripes. It looks like a motorcycle outfit, but with like the heavy collar that you need for a spacesuit seal. The helmet is like a triangle front glass, but it's like it's like a T almost. And then it has like small parts that kind of like go back in waves along the head, kind of like the blue ladies from Mass Effect.
You mean like the Blue Ranger? That's what I'm getting right now.
No, not like the Blue
It's-
Ranger. Like it's. I mean, it is a little bit of like a Henshin outfit. Like, let's
I'm not
not.
saying you sound like a Power Ranger family. I like you.
It's
I'm
like a
fucking
little
with
power.
it, but
It's like a little. It's got Power Ranger energy.
and it can.
So
it can.
the mask like pops forward and off, folding back enough so that you can see her face. Or actually just the upper part of her face because she's still doing the mask thing. And she says, "Oh, so Basha, didn't expect to see you behind bars here. What do you say we make our way out? I need backup getting out of here with these two."
Is that you? Well, and they turn to look at their two crewmates. It's all good. We'll be providing backup here, and if you can get us out.
I will pick up the dead person, maneuver them towards whatever station they need to activate. See if it's like a card, I'll do the card. If it's like a handprint, we'll do the handprint. If it's the eyeball, we got to do the eyeball thing. But yeah.
Yeah. I think it's an Nexus card. Let's go with the clean, simple, just swipe.
Yeah. So we, I let both sets of prisoners out. I give Basha, the pirate, one of their weapons, and then the other two can probably find something.
Yeah. They just
nearby.
pull them right off the guards.
Yeah.
There's like a baton, another pistol.
Then I'm gonna turn and address the other two prisoners. I'm Commandant Shroud. I'm Commandant Shroud with the RCN. We're here on a rescue op. We're going to make our way to the hangar where I believe your ship is being stowed. Do you know if they took any of the cargo off?
Cargo. And they took a closer look at your uniform and like do you have a badge of office or?
I have a notable style.
You have notable style. Okay, I'm gonna say that's probably enough for them to recognize you vaguely, sort of, or at least maybe not the person who's like eyeing you up, but the other person is just like, oh, you're. I feel like you just war hero question mark. Like I'm not familiar. I don't pay attention to the RCN Civil War. Okay, it's just, but like you're
I'm the buzzard.
The buzzard. Yeah, the buzzard or something. No. Right. Well, yeah, we'll go with you.
The buzzer.
They could literally call you the buzzard instead of the buzzard. And is just well, last week none of the cargo on our ship is movable. It's very delicate. In fact, if any of those bones are damaged, I'm going to be right pissed. And
My God, you were imprisoned. You have bigger priorities.
A tomb keeper.
You're a tomb keeper.
Fucking
Tomb
nerd.
keeper.
Like, what the? Imagine getting out of jail and being like, I hope my model kits are okay. No, I would do that. Never mind.
Dude, I was about to.
I said everything I just said. They're perfectly valid. I give it up. They're cool. Never mind. My fault.
I can't believe you wouldn't stick up for a man concerned with his special interest.
You're just right. You're right, and I'm wrong. That's fair. I'll admit that one.
I'm afraid the cargo ship is a little bit cracked, but it should still be space worthy. Unfortunately, the engines last we checked might need a little bit of a kickstart.
Well, let's hope Shinya's up to the task. Come on, we're moving. And it's like Cox bullpup mask slides back into place.
It looks so epic. Like I imagine these two are just sort of like are keeping a little close flanking because they're definitely not used to fighting, and like you're.
Yeah, well, I think there's a couple of things about this scene. Is like I definitely have blood on me from the guard that I killed earlier. So it's like I'm dripping very dark blood off of this pretty white spacesuit. And just like rocking around here like I own the place.
They're like okay, so our two nerds are as backed up as they can be while still being in between you and the pirates.
Yeah, cool. We're gonna head in my best guess of the direction for the other hangar bay.
You actually get like a yeah. They actually direct
from
you
the
towards
people who were brought here.
Yeah. All right, and I think that like you arrive with no issue at the hangar bay where Shinya is, unless we want to pass the camera to Archeron.
No. Okay.
All right. Well,
I think it's the thing of like 6 people walk through, and at first you're like in behind the cockpit, being like, oh shit, and then you hear over short range comms. Shinya, is that you in the ship?
Yeah, I'm up here. Everything's here, I think.
And then she'll just kind of like point the remaining prisoners towards the ship. Get on. Help us figure out what we need to get this started. Short of that, we'll have our good friend. We'll have one of our allies come through and carry us out.
our two nerds are absolutely useless and are like they immediately rush into the cargo hold and check on the status of the relics. Your friend,
Basha.
Basha, is surprisingly also an adept mechanic,
We love that.
and has sort of figured out that you need a little bit of a jump start to the engine. Like it died in when it got, like, I guess, tractor beamed in, and like they tried to the force, like, trying to, like, pull away and then pushing in is sort of like caused it to, like, die a little bit. It's like, I think we could just give it like a little bit of a jump start. It should be fine. I think we can cobble together something from the electronics panel here. Do you have anything? Do you happen to have a toolbox? Shinya, if you want.
Immediately. Ensign Nova, this is your area of expertise.
Yeah, I always keep, and they just pull out like, it's one of those toolkits that like wraps up a bunch, so it just like unfurls into a huge, sort of strap of a bunch of different like wrenches and screwdrivers and sprockets and everything.
All right, great. Hold this for me. And he like just like shoves just shoves various paraphernalia at you. I need you to go ahead and make me some kind of access roll, maybe.
Okay, some kind of access roll, such as an access roll.
Yeah.
No, but not that kind of access roll. A different kind of access roll.
Oh, okay. What 3? Do I get anything for doubles? Do I get to go again on doubles? Is that how this works?
Unfortunately, double snake eyes do not do anything for you.
No, it's 3. It's double threes.
Yeah.
Two threes make a 6.
2 3s do not make a 6, unfortunately.
Wait,
I think
can I assist?
You may assist.
That is gonna take me up to 1 strain.
We taking the shift club. We in the shift club
yeah,
today,
we're on the
baby.
Join the
club.
shift club.
Is it when I hit 9 or when I
when you spend all 9 of your
all
stress?
9? Okay. Yeah, we'll do it. It's fine. But yeah, roll 1 more die. Better make it count.
Yeah, cool. It's a 1.
Well,
Would you
that's
like
as
to
much as
push
I can help
yourself
you.
to add another +1 to your roll? If not, I'm good. That's cool.
God, I have so much stress. You know what? Everybody else has been taking stress. Yeah, let's do
It's
it.
getting stressful out here, motherfuckers.
That's another 1.
That's another one.
just bad.
I
Okay,
didn't see it.
sorry.
Cool. Hey, here's what I'm gonna do.
All right.
I'm gonna fill our clock. I'm filling our bond.
Go for it.
Okay.
You get a beat.
Mm-hmm.
And then what do I get?
You get 2 XP.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, I level up.
Nice.
Cool.
I think what this looks like, though, is so you provide your assistance to Shinya. Shinya is also trying to provide assistance to your friend Basha, and they try to jumpstart the engine. Unfortunately, the engine. So you know that part where like the engine sort of like heats up and then just that kind of like dies immediately. Yeah, so it was kind of like a 50-50 shot. You were either going to kickstart the engine or you're going to kill it permanently.
Oh God.
Cool.
All right, Archeron, I think you're the only person who can get that ship out now.
Yeah, let's open this door. Let's open this hangar door. That's going to be the first order of operations here. If necessary, I'll do that by force as usual.
I mean, the ship's power is kind of down, so you could probably you might need a little bit of force to force it open, but like there's no resistance beyond like the regular mechanism.
Yeah, in that case, yeah, we'll just I'll probably just have my case just actually, like with the bare hands, just open the doors. Sorry for the delay. I got a lost, but we're all back together, it seems. And assuming I assume either by you telling me or somehow I assume I can kind of assess the situation of what's happening here right now, right? Does anybody want to tell me that you've killed the engine, or?
Oh, I don't know where you are.
Well, I guess in front of
Open
the
the
ship.
I think you just
in
open the door.
doorway of the hangar. Yeah.
Oh, so I just see the doors open.
Yeah.
Ensign Rose, good of you to join us. I was worried that you'd gotten killed. The ship's dead in the water. Could you perhaps ferry us to the other side?
All right. Roger that. Now with the alignment of this hangar, you mentioned that this hangar was on the opposite side of where we started. Does that mean that it's pointing away from our ship, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to like take it out and then over or
Okay.
under or side to side.
All right. In that case, I'll you know what? I'll open comms with Panther Squad. Specifically, I think specifically with Boreas, and I'm gonna be like, okay, I'll need someone. I'll open with Panther Squad, but this is directed at Boreas. I'll need someone to push a large, heavy object through space ASAP.
Zephyrus just like kicks a fucking mech away because he's the kicker, guys. He's kicking out for some reason. Kicks a fucking mech away. Boreas, that's you. And just go back to fighting.
All right, Boreas will assist you in your next roll as he sort of like flies over.
Spare rations under the rock.
Essentially, I think I'll do my best
I love him
to
so
get
much.
I'll do my best to get the ship out of the hangar, and then because I'm in a in a scout case, right? Like I'm in a small light case, so I know that I'm not the right person to actually do this maneuver.
Can I make a suggestion?
Hmm.
This got pulled in here by a tractor beam. Can we? I don't know how tractor beams work. Can we push it out? Like, is that feasible?
Carrier's offline right now. If it had power, probably.
Okay. Nope, you're right.
At least in Star Wars X-Wings miniatures game, you can both push and pull somebody with a tractor beam.
I feel like it's a fair standard
let's
assumption
close
that most things that can push can also pull.
Yeah.
You know what I'll do, and I don't even know.
Unless you're Salt and Pepper.
You can let me know if this needs a roll or not. But having opened the door and having contacted Panther Squad to get in and actually do the rescue mission, I think my next thing is gonna be to go back and grab the other two cases that are still in the other hangar. I don't want to leave Shinya and Tenebra high and dry without their.
Oh, I was my thinking was like as you take us across the ship back towards where we came from, like Tenebra would just hop out and like fall down into the hangar bay.
EVA suit. Yeah.
So in that case, yeah, if we get Panther support, I don't necessarily have like anything else immediate to do. I'll defend if there's any other attacks, any other enemies in the area.
I think we just temporarily lost our GM's internet. So let's.
Oh,
as
no.
that happens,
I thought it was just very quiet.
I'm gonna GM for 10 seconds. As we temporarily see this scene happening that was just described, we're gonna briefly cut to a minor break. See you guys back in about 30 seconds. I promise. Bye.
Did we literally just? What the hell?
No. Oh my god, no.
What? Okay. Maybe this is a sign. I don't know.
Internet.
I heard a voice. Yeah.
No.
We're basically done with the oh, it's choppy though.
All right, am I back? Am I back?
It seems like you might be back.
Back for quick wrap up the sessions and that way.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
been
Cool.
muted for this whole time, by the way. I'm not muted, by the way. That's hilarious. It can't happen. We can't end the session. It can't
I
happen.
think we should probably do our outro.
Bullshit. Fuck.
Wait,
I was gonna say, let's just wrap this up before the internet dies.
I agree.
So, John, whatever happens, keep going, and we'll
Yeah.
end your scene.
Yeah, it's okay. I think we're basically done, right? Like we have the ship, we've opened the hangar, we've told the rescue squad to come rescue us. I think we're basically done. I don't need to do anything else. It's all good.
All right, cool. Then I'm going to quickly ruin your day. Sorry, not sorry. As the four of you get a ping from Bast.
Why?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
So, just like we're detecting a large number of ships heading towards the asteroid belt. It appears to be some kind of evacuation. And you watch as the Subaru and the rest of the Seven Sisters, not the carrier, but the cases, all immediately rush back towards the Subaru in order to, and you sort of like you reckon that they're off to escort what appears to be a mass exodus of Aurum Gate ships heading out from the asteroid belt.
Why would they be doing that?
So,
Turns
would
to
now
look at the sun.
be a good time
Yeah.
to mention, as the it's like you hear like a Bast with a bit of a shaky voice. It appears that the planet of Vacaris has been consumed.
Oh,
And in fact, it
many
appears that the sun is
people.
rapidly expanding and is beginning to make its way towards the asteroid belt. I would recommend that all of us leave as soon as we can.
All hands to level B stations. Crew prepare for immediate evacuation. All cases dock and make immediate repairs. Graving stations on standby. Engineers on standby in the hangars. We have no time.
And of the Pavana ships, it appears that they have a base nearby.
No business right now, unfortunately. Meaning they're probably just dead.
Very well then. And I think as the Bast begins to plot the wake drive course. All right, we need to make a turn here, 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 and we'll arrive at Arbor Hearth with the cargo in less than half a cycle.
Multiple parameters. Plot the course, shipmaster. Catapult squadron. This is a command from off bridge. Egress is secured. Return to the ship. We need to leave now.
Sorry, Basha. It might be that you're getting press ganged.
How's the
Well,
military
it's either
sound,
this or
buddy?
incineration, so I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely better than being dead.
You know? I think we're going to leave this on the scene of your just the sort of like the I guess the hanging moment right between the wake drive is initiated and the sort of bright red glow of the sun just as it starts to reach the first rocks of the asteroid belt.
Yeah, this is the episode where like the ending credits song starts playing before like we've actually cut away from the action yet. So we start like seeing like all like the montage of like faces, everyone being like concerned or upset about what's happening, and then like the music's starting to swell, the wake drop's building up, the sun's getting bigger, and then we finally cut away as we like zip away finally on the ship. They're playing the soft piano version of the intro song rather than playing the actual outro song.
I think from an aesthetic perspective, this is a show that ends with one of those like high femme like vocal chants that have like a lot of wavers in them.
You mean like the intro song?
Yeah, but like an intense version of that, like oh shit,
Yeah.
it's going wrong.
Yeah, they're playing like the piano version of that as we're like leaving this moment of like, yeah, no, shit's real fuck. This is all bad. Also, like a lot of people are dead. By the way, a lot of people are dead.
I wasn't ship plan anyway.
It's
It's fine.
fine. They may have gone to escort the ships that are in the asteroid belt. It's fine. Everything's fine.
They're
I
all
don't think
they're all
that's true.
NPCs. It's fine. Doesn't matter.
No, I don't think that's fair. That's no.
I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah. So now is probably the time that we should do our outros before my internet decides to fuck up on me again.
Yeah, why don't you
So-
start actually?
So well, unless you guys just want to like cut here.
No,
do you think?
you start.
All right,
and
cool.
then the
I'll
rest of
start
us
then.
will go.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I was your game maestro for today with these amazing people who are like give me amazing ideas. So, I'm gonna stop that right there because holy shit, internet. Pass it on to let's go in the same order as we came in. So Foxy, please.
That's me. I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest. I'm on the internet at Young Foxy, YUNGFOXXII. I will skew. Now, see, I think that I'm doing right now, instead of mentioning that Neon Lights, which is still kind of me, is doing an awesome event called Mecha March. We have a month full of awesome one shots, all mecha themed, supporting Women's History Month charities. This is also a part of it, this campaign. So, if you like supporting charity tonight, you're gonna do even more of that going forward. So, be prepared for every stream during this month to have a charity supporting it. You will see me and some other faces here back on Thursday for, let's say, a slower paced mecha story of one kind. And I'll leave it there. See you all on Thursday for a quiet after war. And other than that, this has been incredible. I love you all so much. And mwah, good night.
Next up is, I believe, unless I got it wrong, Tensei.
Tensei.
Sure. Hi. I am and have been Tensei, playing Shinya. Sorry, I'm looking at a whole different thing right now. You can find me across the internet, and by across the internet I mean on Discord and Blue Sky only, at tenseidragon, TENSEIDRAGON. And as promised at the beginning of this stream, I would double every dollar that came in during it. But I didn't specify from where. We've had amazing donations from both Egg and Flacobama for $70 between the two of them. But I've been watching the Pious Project's website. I've been watching that donation tracker. And over the course of this game, let me do one final refresh. Over the course of this game, $301 have come in.
Well, all right.
So I will be putting another $301 towards the feminine hygiene kits for Gaza with the Assad sisters.
Hell yeah.
That's incredible. Thank you so much, Tensei. That's wonderful. And thank you all for your help.
I guess I'll follow that up. I have a good charity drive happening. I'm John. You can find me on the Neon Lights Discord server if you want. You'll also see me on Thursday for Quiet After War, which I'm going to do my best to make it quieter than this one. So that's gonna be fun, and you can find my games at john-east.itch.io. I've been thinking about maybe also starting to blog on itch because I don't know what other social media to use. So I'm like, you know what, it has a blogging function. I don't know if anyone reads it, but I'm just gonna start using it. So maybe that's a thing. Yeah, I played Archeron. I will be playing Archeron in the next session next week. And yeah, we'll see what that's gonna be all about.
Hey, I'm Legendary Vermin. I'm the last one to go. You can find me as Legendary Vermin on all the places on the internet that matter, which happens to include itch, Twitch, YouTube, the bird site currently known as .com, the places like Blue Sky, Tumblr. I'm all over the place. Coming up for games, you can catch me on the Monday the 25th for an episode of The World Within You. That is our bass boosted and spray paint splattered take on Minerva McJanda's Voidheart Symphony. It's great. It's a really cool game. Michelle is in it as a player, so you get to see us on opposite sides of the table. It's so cool. Also, I love making the music soundtrack for it. You can find the soundtrack for that somewhere in the Neon Lights Discord server, so go there. Besides that, you can check out the work that I do as a game designer as legendary-vermin.itch.io. One of my games is being played here on the server, and that game is called No Amount of Armor. It is being used in Stardust Ghosts. Check them out. In exactly 1 month, the last thing I'm going to shout out, I happen to be here today because my wonderful GM over on Singularity Roleplay was otherwise indisposed. But you should come and check out that game that I missed today to be here. It's called Camp Runner's Cross, and it is a horror game about a bunch of gay kids surviving a homophobic attack at a summer camp, horror movie style. And maybe not surviving. We don't know yet. So come check that out. It's an all-queer cast. We have a lot of fun. We do tons of food crimes. So yeah, that'll be next month, April the 9th.
Also, just to correct you, Vermin, the bird site, according to the International Phonetic Alphabet, would actually be .com.
Oh, that's my bad. I just like to hack up a hairball when I say it.
I think that's it. I don't want to jinx us. So let's head out before the internet decides to head out for me. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, folks.